Good evening, guys. Today is welcome to the Philippine Pageantry TPP News Live. I'm Tristan Francisco, live from Makati City, Philippines.
And I'm Gerard Viva reporting straight from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam.
Good evening, everyone. Today is June 28, 2020, Sunday, and
Mhm.
tonight is our Pride episode.
And here are the stories for this week. Okay, the 51st year Pride Riots commemoration. The HIV/AIDS status in the Philippines alarming. The oldest living person is in the Philippines. And Ramon Revilla Sr. bowed down at the age of 93. And let's meet the Binibini Pilipinas' new mentors. And we have here for tonight Mr. Philippines come out as member of the LGBTQ community. And we have here international title holder chose to ignore attack and focus on her charity work. And the Philippines or Miss Philippines or 2020 cultural attire winners and Miss Philippines or 2020 finals is happening next week. Okay, Tristan, let's go on with our news for tonight.
Yes. Today, Gerard, is June
Yes.
28,
Mm-hmm.
2020. But 51 years ago, something happened in Greenwich Village in Manhattan, in New York, where in the early morning or early hours of June 28, 1969, there
Mm-hmm.
was a riot that happened in a bar that has been frequented by people of the LGBT community.
Okay, so let's have the news for that.
Yes. The Stonewall riot, as they say, also referred to as the Stonewall Uprising or the Stonewall Rebellion, were a series of spontaneous, violent demonstrations by members of the gay community in response to a police raid that began in the early morning hours of June 28, 1969, at the Stonewall Inn in the Greenwich Village neighborhood of Manhattan in New York City. Portions of patrons, rather, of Stonewall and other village lesbian and gay bars and neighborhood street people fought back when the police became violent. The riots are widely considered to constitute one of the most important events leading to the gay liberation movement and the modern fight for LGBT rights in the United States. And of course, it spilled over to the whole world. Because the gay Americans in the 1950s and 1960s faced an anti-gay legal system. So it was really something that here you can see here the photo of the bar that started it all.
Yes, yes. It's in
Here,
Manhattan, right? In Manhattan, New York.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
One trivia that I could share, Gerard, and
Yes.
to our viewers, people have been. I was able to visit this in 8 years ago
Yeah, you
during
mentioned that.
the during the Pride Day celebration and commemoration as well. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it is like something that I have to see for myself.
So
The
how was
birth of the Pride
the, mhm.
movement.
So how was the experience then?
Well, it's a typical bar. It's a lot of people there, and a lot of people who have visited. That's
Mm-hmm.
the particular bar on that particular day because there was a Pride march, there was a Pride fair
Mm-hmm.
in Greenwich Village that time, and I was just there. I decided that this is history. This is part of the history of the LGBT community. So I have to see what it is, how it
Mm-hmm.
was then, and how small the bar actually was or is.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
yes, this is the start of Pride. This is what we're celebrating today and this month. This is the Pride month. So
Yes.
this is actually kasi yung pride is not just being proud. It's being proud per se or something because of all our achievements as a people, individually and as
As
a
a community,
community
yeah.
and as a
I,
community.
yes.
But this
I,
is about being proud of who we are because yun na nga ang na-experience ng mga Americans, gay Americans that time, that they are being persecuted because of that. That's why they
yeah.
decided
Yes.
to fight back.
Yeah, and it's a social movement, right? It's like a
Yeah,
sort of social
it
movement.
became
Yeah.
a social movement. It
Yeah,
became a
through the
social
years. Yeah.
movement. Yes, it became a social movement.
And then as year passes by, it's being celebrated in different forms and different styles,
Yes,
right?
yes.
You
Yeah, we
can
used
go, you can go on the streets, you can do it online or virtual, you know.
yeah because
So
we have to show people that no matter what, we are part of the community. We are respectable members of the community because
yes,
some of the societies before tried to think that or tried to hide the fact that there are gays and lesbians in their communities. So we have
mm-hmm.
to show that we're all contributing members of the society and that
Yes,
we are still doing we're human beings. We're the same with whoever human beings that we're faced with
yes,
in this life that we have right now. So dapat we have to know that regardless of the gender identity, sexual identity, and sexual preferences, we're still human beings and we should be proud of who we are as a person and our achievements. And that's that. And in pageantry, there's a lot of members of the LGBTQ
yes,
community
yes.
that no
It
matter
will,
what you do
yeah,
and say yes.
it will take a village, right? That's what they say, you
So
know.
speaking of
Mm-hmm.
village, what's next on where I think we're going to be talking to have a recognized and respected organization that
Mm-hmm.
focuses on loving oneself here in the Philippines,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And
yes.
they're helping the LGBT community love ourselves more.
Yeah, and of course, the awareness of what is happening, most
Yeah,
likely it's a community.
yeah, we're having a pandemic now with COVID-19 virus and the effects
Yes, yes,
to the social, the social classes, the society, our health, etc. But one thing that we should not forget as a community, as not just as a community, but also everyone,
mm-hmm.
is this so-called another pandemic that we have been experiencing since the 70s and the 80s. And now
Yes,
this is very rampant in the Philippines, but there is hope. I believe there is hope, right?
yes, yes, I agree. So let's bring in our guest tonight, or maybe later.
Yes.
Okay, later.
Um, yes. So let's talk about this AIDS and HIV status in the Philippines. So maybe we can bring in our guest from Love Yourself Incorporated,
Okay.
Gerard, so that he'll be able to tell us statistics, things that we should know, things that a lot of young people who are watching now and who will be watching in the next few hours or in their own time. Actually,
Yes.
we're live now on YouTube and of course on the Philippine Pageantry page. So,
Okay.
guys, let's welcome the data officer of Love Yourself Incorporated, Mr. Danvic Rosadino.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Hello,
Hello, Janvik. Good evening.
hello, Danvic. Thank you for joining us in
Uh,
this Pride episode of TPP News Live,
We're
and we're
very honored.
happy. Wow, I think the honor is more with us.
our pleasure is ours,
The
actually.
pleasure, yes, di ba? Kasi madami
Yes.
kami matututunan sa'yo for sure. Di ba?
Mm-hmm.
Kagaya din yung mga taong nanonood, ibang kabataan ng mga nanonood sa atin ngayon. And that's the idea. I mean, we keep forgetting about the HIV and AIDS situation in the Philippines. That's why we thought, let's have Love Yourself, di ba?
Mm-hmm. So I
So
think it's not
ano,
all about the awareness, but also he'll be talking about the statistics. I think we're gonna talk about figures, so that we are like aware on what is really happening. Because with the outbreak of the COVID-19, so parang ito yung parang nakita kong nagiging ano din siya, nagiging matagal ng usapin na parang we have to put light on it. So just not just for the awareness, but also the statistics of the situation or what is really happening in the Philippines.
Well, basically, right now in the Philippines, as we always say right now, yes, we have a COVID pandemic, but the HIV
Mhm.
epidemic here in the Philippines has been existing. In fact, when the government started to record all of the HIV cases since 1984, which started, of course, with one,
Mhm.
it has changed dramatically.
Mhm.
I remember in 2011, there were 6 cases per day, 6 new cases per day here in the Philippines. And it has changed dramatically to right now. In 2019, last year, we had 35 cases per day. And it's
35
a
cases.
Mabilis.
Yes.
Parang bilis.
Opo, napakabilis ng increase. Na comparing to 2019 to around 10 years ago, there was around a 201% increase with regards to the number of cases. It may sound alarming na sobrang taas ng pagdami, but what we always say is that data is always a double-edged sword. Ang ibig
Mhm.
sabihin po namin doon is, yes, tumataas ang cases because mas marami ang nare-record na mga cases here in the Philippines. But if we will also look into another perspective of the data, mas dumadami ang cases at itong mga cases na ito yung mga nagpa-test at nalaman nila na ang status nila ay HIV positive. So ibig sabihin, these are the people whom we have taken care of and provided the necessary treatment so that they will be able to live a healthy life even
Mhm.
though if their status is HIV positive, because it's not the end of the world. I remember in the HIV epidemic before in the 1980s, HIV is a death sentence, but right
Mhm.
now with so many advancements, you can
Mhm.
live a normal healthy life even though if you have HIV.
Yeah,
So parang doon
actually,
pumapasok yung stigma na sinasabi. Parang if you have that, parang may
in the
stigma in the
80s, yes,
society.
in the 80s there
Yeah,
was a stigma, pero
may
ngayon nga
stigma.
parang ano yung changes nga, di
Nagre-revolution.
ba? You've mentioned a short while ago, Dan Vic, na yun na nga, parang it was a death sentence before. Now, hindi na. So, can you elaborate? Para doon sa mga nakikinig sa atin, kasi I remember like uh, maybe around 10 years ago, or no, not 10 years ago, maybe around 5 years ago, there was this someone, he was a friend on Facebook. Then, ang chismis kasi was nabalitaan niya na parang he has AIDS or he has HIV. I'm not really sure. And he got himself drunk. He threw himself in front of the oncoming LRT. He killed himself. So, yun yung akala ng mga tao kasi death sentence eh. Yung stigma. So, can you educate us, inform us about the stigma, about the changes that has been happening, and then ano ba yung dapat gawin natin kung may doubt tayo sa sarili natin o paano natin, etc. Yung mga dapat naming malaman.
Well, basically, it has changed dramatically. In the 1980s, before wala pang gamot to manage HIV, sa ngayon, there is still no cure for HIV, I would say. Wala pang gamot para, tanggalin ang HIV sa ating katawan. But right now, with the advancements of research and science, we have medication that controls the number of the HIV virus in our body. So ibig sabihin, para siya maintenance na gamot na you need to take every day so that you will be able to live a normal life. And these medications, especially here in the Philippines, it's provided for free by the government. They just need to have themselves tested. And if they are negative, then there are many ways for you on how to stay negative. There's, of course, the use of condoms and lubricants, and there are many advancements such as pre-exposure prophylaxis or PrEP. Ang PrEP ay isang gamot na iniinom ng mga HIV negative so that they won't get HIV by up to 99%. So imagine the
Parang siyang
advancements.
vaccine. Parang vaccine.
Para siyang vaccine, but it's not,
It's
hindi
not
siya
really a
tinuturok.
vaccine.
Oo, it's a pill that you take. So parang gamot siya na
Ano
iniinom.
tawag ulit doon? PrEP. What does PrEP means?
PrEP means pre-exposure prophylaxis.
So,
So pre-exposure meaning you are taking that pill before you get exposed to HIV. So parang you are taking it para you need para if you are in a risky encounter, you know you are negative kasi you are protected. But for those who are positive, it's not the end of the world because if you are taking treatment, chances is yung HIV sa loob ng katawan ng isang taong positive, bumababa siya. So kumokonti siya. Yun yung ginagawa ng gamot. Kinokontrol niya yung pagdami ng virus doon sa katawan until such time na matatawag natin siyang undetectable. Pag undetectable siya, hindi na siya nadidetect ng mga viral load test. It means na sa sobrang konti ng HIV, hindi na siya maipapasa sa ibang tao. So this is a campaign that started with Pia Wurtzbach and Catriona Gray, what we call the U equals U campaign. So what we promote is that if you are HIV positive and you are undetectable, you have to maintain your treatment, inumin mo araw-araw, so that you will maintain undetectable at hindi mo na siya maipapasa sa ibang tao. So there are many advancements right now as compared to the 1980s. But it's understandable na hindi pa siya mana-access din ng maraming tao. It's because of the stigma. Stigma na they will be judged if they have their HIV test, or they don't want to tell their status to anyone because many people are not aware of what HIV is and how can it be transmitted, how can it be prevented. And that's why we are here as an organization and we have ambassadors like beauty queens like Catriona Gray, like Pia Wurtzbach, so that we will have that reach so that many people will become more aware.
Nandi, let's go kasi medyo so many facts na talagang nakakalo, which is dapat talaga natin pag-usapan especially for today, di ba? Pero let's start muna kasi madaming kabataang fans ng pageantry, mapa-straight, mapa-hindi straight, mapa-babae, mapa-lalaki. Pero madami, kahit na available ng information online at kahit na nandiyan si Catriona, nandiyan na si Pia to even explain this, talagang madami pa rin ang may hindi alam. Paano ba nakukuha ang HIV at ang AIDS? Kasi iba yun eh. Iba ang AIDS, iba ang HIV. Though they're connected. Pero, yes, para sa mga nakikinig, turuan mo kami, paano ba nakukuha ang HIV o ang AIDS?
So it's very important for us, bago natin i-explain kung paano siya nakukuha, paano siya naipapasa, I think it's important first to define what is HIV. HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. Virus meaning it's something that's not inside our bodies. Nakuha
virus kagaya ng COVID. Kagaya ng COVID, right? Diba?
So, it's a virus. It's a foreign... Yes, correct.
Yes.
Now, hindi natin siya pinoproduce. Parang hindi yan immaculate conception na pagising mo isang araw may HIV.
Meron ka ng HIV.
That will never happen. So parang you have got it.
So nakukuha sa labas. Nakukuha siya sa labas.
Yes. At yun nga, napupunta siya sa tao. That's why it's human. Human immunodeficiency. Napapasa lang siya tao sa tao. Hindi siya nakukuha sa lamok, hindi siya nakukuha sa buwaya, or kahit anong hayop.
Sa mga toilet seats. Nakukuha ba siya sa mga public toilet seats? Ganyan kasi may nabasa ako before eh, di ba?
No.
May mga agent daw parang sa water, minsan airborne daw siya. So
hindi siya nakukuha sa ganon. Which I will be explaining later. At ginagawa nung HIV sa katawan natin, it causes immunodeficiency, meaning pinapahina niya yung ating immune system. If you have it, hindi ka namamatay because you have HIV. Namamatay ka because mahina na ang iyong immune system because of HIV, kinakapitan ka ng mas maraming sakit. So that's how it works. So so kapag nagkaroon ka ng HIV, pahihinain niya ang iyong immune system para magkaroon ka ng mga mas sakit na nakakamatay.
So kahit na healthy ka, tapos halimbawa healthy ka, you take vitamins and everything, tapos nahawa ka, so talagang wala na yon, magiging mahina na immunity mo.
Yes,
so
because ang
Sige, sige.
Ang
Go on.
ginagawa kasi nung virus is, yun nga, pinapabagsak niya unti-unti yung immune system para dumami yung HIV sa katawan. Yun
Yung sinasabing
yun yung
viral load.
mechanism niya.
Yung
Yes,
viral
yun po yung
load ba
viral
yun?
load.
Ah,
Yun yung
viral load.
dami ng virus sa katawan. And there
Mm.
are 3 ways on how to get it. Only 3 ways, wala na pong iba. First is blood and blood products. Kapag nasalinan ka ng dugo na may HIV or possible organ donation, or if you are sharing needles, like for example, nag-sharing kayo ng glutathione or by injecting
Tattoo?
drug use.
Tattooing?
Yes. So pag nag-share
Okay.
ng hiringgilya or the syringe, tattooing hindi masyadong mataas yung risk, but
okay.
it should be mas malalim yung tusok. Yes. Na
okay.
dediretso siya sa bloodstream.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's one way to get it, blood and blood products. The next one is mother to child transmission. At ito yung prevalent sa Africa. If si mommy ay may HIV, pwede nga maipasa sa kanyang baby habang nagbubuntis, habang nanganganak, at habang nagbibigay ng breast milk. So that's the second one. The third one is via unprotected penetrative sex. Lahat ng pakikipagtalik na walang protection at may penetration or may pagpasok. So this could be oral sex, vaginal sex, anal sex. So those are the 3 ways on how to get it. Blood and blood products, mother-to-child transmission, and unprotected penetrative sex. At because yun lang yung tatlong paraan para makuha si HIV, there are only 4 body fluids that has HIV. So these body fluids, there's a possibility na meron tong HIV doon sa isang tao, especially if they don't know their status. So that's blood or dugo, semen or the similia ng lalaki, vaginal fluid or hema ng babae, and breast milk o gatas ng ina. So those are the only 4 body fluids that contain HIV. So if you kiss someone who has HIV, hindi ka makakakuha ng HIV. If you share toilet seats, hindi ka makakakuha ng HIV. If you share baso, tinidor, kutsara, plato, hindi ka makakakuha ng HIV. If you hug someone who has HIV, hindi ka makakakuha ng HIV. It's only through that 3 ways. Blood and blood products, mother-to-child transmission, and unprotected penetrative sex.
So hindi siya katulad ng COVID.
Yan, COVID. Na parang, di ba, sa ano yun?
Saliva. Kailangan ng di ba?
Yeah, face mask.
Yes.
Yeah. Tapos sa saliva, yung droplets ng saliva when you talk to someone, pag hindi mo na-control yung buga nung saliva mo, it's a potential for you to acquire the virus.
Apo, that's for COVID kasi ang mode of transmission for COVID is droplets or kapag umubo ka or you transfer, nagsasalita ka, nakaka-transfer ka ng saliva. Since HIV is not found in saliva, it cannot be transmitted via droplets, via yung pagsasalita, even kissing, hindi siya na ipapasa doon. So, it's very safe to hug someone, to kiss someone who has HIV. It's not an issue.
So, kagaya ng nangyayari ngayon sa pandemic sa COVID, na kailangan natin protektahan ng mga sarili natin ng face mask, ng face shield, ng PPE suits, ng personal protective equipment suits, etc. Paano ba, sa mga nakikinig sa ating mga kabataan ngayon, paano ba mapoprotektahan unang-una ang mga sarili sa HIV?
Well, if you are someone who doesn't know your HIV status, it's very important na lahat tayo ay may HIV status. Sometimes we just don't know what it is. Hindi lang natin alam kung ano yung status natin. So the very first advice that I could give is first to have yourself tested. It's for free, it's confidential, kahit hindi mo ilagay pangalan mo, kahit ilagay mo Venus Ra ang pangalan mo, walang issue doon. Yeah, so walang issue.
Nung nagpa-test ka, Danvic, anong nilagay mo din ang totoong pangalan mo?
Well, nilagay ko lang po yung totoong pangalan ko because for me, it's a non-issue naman. But yun nga, you cannot state your real name if that's what you want. Okay lang po yun. So, it's really confidential and you are ang makakaalam lang ng results is the client or yung nagpapatest and the counselor. Kasi there's a counseling involved for HIV testing. And if you know your status, you know how to take care of yourself. If you are HIV negative, then you have to stay negative. There are many ways for you to protect yourself. If you want to have sex, it's okay. You just need to protect yourself by using condoms and lubricants, by safer sex practices, by using PrEP, yung tulad ng sinasabi ko po kanina, yung pre-exposure prophylaxis. There are many ways for you to stay negative. And if you're positive, it's not the end of the world. Kasi you just need to take treatment para hindi tumaas yung viral load at hindi niya sirain yung iyong immune system. Ang gagawin ng treatment, pabababain niya yung virus sa iyong katawan para you'll be healthy and your immune system is okay. Para also, you cannot transmit it to other people.
I have a question, Janvic. Di ba yung transmission from the outside, right? Yung pag pumasok na sa system mo yon, parang ano yun, right away, kakapit, or meron tayong tinatawag na incubation period? Before you find out na positive ka? How it goes?
Yeah.
Paano yun?
For HIV testing po kasi, it cannot be detected. Like, for example, if I have unprotected sex last night, hindi ko po siya malalaman ngayon. There is what we call the window period. The window period is that period na magpo-produce yung katawan natin ng antibodies na ito yung dinidetect ng ating mga tests. And this window period, here in the Philippines, it's 3 months. Ibig sabihin, if you want to have your HIV testing today, and if you want to have your HIV testing today, and meron kang risky sexual behavior in the past 3 months, there's a possibility na hindi makikita siya doon sa HIV test ngayon. So it's very important that the counselor sa HIV testing, tinatanong namin yung mga questions na yon. It's not for us to be, para lang machismis namin kayo. It's not that. It's really more of asking really kung you are possible at risk for HIV para mag-guide namin sila on if you need to have another HIV test or if you need to, to monitor yourself. So it's 3 months. 3 months ang window period.
Pwede ba siyang gawin like every 3 months? Parang may ganun ba for follow-up?
Yeah. Yes,
may ganun ba? May ganun? Oo.
Yes, yes, pwede po yun. With regards
siguro, depende
to
rin
HIV
siguro
testing,
yeah, go on, continue. Hello.
With regards to HIV testing, it's very possible na you can have your HIV test every 3 months.
Okay.
Paano ba yan? Libre ba yung HIV testing? I think he's having problems. Yes. Paano yun, Danvic? I have a hanging question. So Danvic is from Love Yourself. He's having internet problems.
As he mentioned, may 3 ways para on how to acquire it.
Yes.
Parang yun niya, parang medyo more on medyo contact talaga, no? May physical contact.
It's sexual transmission through a change in sandali
Okay.
Papasukin natin siya ulit. Sexual transmission.
Okay. And then yung needles, syringes, yan.
Yeah.
Possible yan.
Yung syringes.
At saka yun, isa yun.
So yun, bago ka nawala, bago ka nagka-problema sa connectivity, ang question ko was, magkano ba ang HIV testing? Paano ba yan? Kasi karamihan, nabasa ko sa report ninyo, sa latest, ang daming kabataan ang, I think, ano yung age group na pinakamaraming, merong na infected ng HIV?
According to data po, ang pinakamarami na number with regards to dami ng mga taong na-diagnose sa may HIV ay 25 to 34 years old.
Tumaas na.
However, yung pinakamataas ng pagdami ng cases, like change from last month or from last years, it's from 15 to 24 years old. So ibig sabihin sila po yung age group na sobrang bilis ng pagtaas. So yun po yung with regards to the age. There are many reasons for that. for 15 to 24 years olds, only 15% lamang sa kanila ang nakakaalam kung paano nga ba maiwasan ng HIV. So awareness is really a factor kung bakit they are, bakit mabilis yung pagtaas on that age group. With regards to the pricing of HIV test, there are community-based organizations like Love Yourself, and there are social hygiene clinics or government facilities that offers HIV testing for free. Wala po
For
itong
free.
For
Yes.
free.
Paano makakapag-avail nun?
So the only way for now to have an HIV test is to go to a clinic, to go to a social hygiene clinic or to a Love Yourself facility or any facilities that provide HIV testing. And we have a directory sa aming website, www.loveyourself.ph. Meron po doon directory on where you can go for HIV testing for free. However, we will be introducing new programs in the future that will expand our self-care offering. Self-care is actually our offering of providing an HIV self-testing. Now, we can deliver the testing sa iyong bahay. And we
Pwede
are,
na.
Mas
Pwede
and we
na.
are yes, and we are about to roll that out this year, around siguro po last quarter of this year. Kasi we have tried a demonstration project this April, and it's napakataas po ng demand. There are around 2,000 people who wanted to have a self-care kit. And we wanted to expand it further. That's why we are preparing ourselves to, to offer it to more people here in Metro Manila.
But will it
I see.
hide the real statistics of those who are infected if that happens, if we have the self-care or self-testing kit? Kasi, syempre, how would you know? How would you know the latest numbers if kung ganun ang magiging sitwasyon?
Ang self-care kit po kasi, it's a HIV screening process. Think of it as parang pregnancy test kit. You need to just have yourself tested. Self-test. Ikaw mag-ma-administer sa sarili mo. If you, in a pregnancy test kit, if you are negative, sure tayong hindi ka buntis. But if you are positive, you need to have yourself confirmed to a doctor, to an OB-GYN, para malaman if buntis ka ba talaga or hindi. Kasi, yes, because there are many factors for that. It works the same with an HIV self-testing kit. If you are negative, then we are sure you are HIV negative. But if you are positive, kailangan mong pumunta sa isang facility so that you can administer an HIV test for free para malaman natin if you really have HIV. And if you have HIV, then you can be linked to treatment para masimulan na natin treatment. Because studies show na kapag mas nasimulan natin ang treatment na mas maaga, you could live a longer, healthy life. So that's how the system works.
So mas okay pala ang dumiretso na lang kaagad sa inyo para alam kaagad kaysa naman biglang makita kong positive ako at kabakabahan ako, yung pala false positive lang siya pag nagpa-test na ako sa inyo. Pwede ba mangyari yung ganon?
Technically, it's possible po. Pwede po yun na they can go directly to our centers. We offered self-test, we offered self-care because we recognize the fact that there are people who are really scared to go to our facilities. Pag nakita nila na, ay, may tao, baka may makilala sa akin. Or, ay, nakita nila na papunta ako ng Love Yourself or, any facility. We recognize that fact that there are people who are afraid to go to the centers. And that's why we offered this service for those people na they don't want to go to the centers because they are really scared, but they want to know their status. So we are guiding them. There is merong online counseling sessions na nangyayari doon during the test, and if they are positive, saka po namin siya gina-guide na pumunta sa aming mga centers. So we really created that service for those people who are scared to go to our centers.
I've read before, we actually supported Love Yourself with your programs, like yung mga doktor at mga nurse dati. I remember you had like that, right? We shared that on the Philippine Pageantry. Mayroon pa ba kayong mga ganong projects in the future? Kasi syempre, we have to attract younger crowds to really go there and test and have themselves tested.
Tested, yes.
Yes, ang tawag po namin doon ay ang aming mga HIV testing day. Ito po yung mga people who are coming into our center so that they could have themselves tested. Yan po yung in the previous pages that you shared, those are our hot doctors and hot nurses of Pinas. That's our campaign. Because of the current pandemic ngayon, of course, we wanted to ensure physical distancing, especially in our facilities. So sadly, we cannot conduct those testing events this year because there's a lot of people usually who are coming in on those events. But what we did with our centers, they can still go to our centers anytime. They can bring a friend if they want. They just need to have a appointment system sa aming website. That's loveyourself.ph. Meron po itong booking system so that makapag-set po sila ng appointment before going to our centers para ma-ensure po natin na konti lamang yung pumupunta sa ating mga community centers.
So at this time of the lockdown, talagang pwede pa rin pala magpa-test basta magkaroon ng appointments. And we can
Yes,
get
sir.
appointment by logging into www.loveyourself.ph. And then there will be an appointment menu or button for that, right?
Yes, opo. There would be a system in the website so that you can set an appointment before coming into our community centers. And there are also maps there to guide you kung saan po sila located because we have 6 community centers here in Mega Manila, 1 in Cebu. So these are the
Saan
community
yung community center sa Mega Manila at saka sa Cebu?
For Mega Manila, we have 5 in Metro Manila. So that's 1 in Shaw Boulevard, Mandaluyong. There are 2 in Pasay. Yung isa po ay sa may corner ng Hillpuyat and Taft Avenue. Yung isa po ay sa may Park Avenue that's near Libertad. Meron po kaming isa sa that in Blumentritt, that's in Manila. We also have 1 in the boundary of Parañaque and Taguig sa may tapat po na Walter Mart Bikutan. We also have 1 in Bacoor, Cavite sa may Aguinaldo Highway. And in Cebu, we are not operating right now the facility because it's ECQ in Cebu. But they just need to visit our website because there would be there are systems that they can access HIV screening and treatment refills online. We shifted our services in Cebu online for now because of ECQ.
I see.
Sabi mo, hindi naman kagad malalaman kung positive or malalaman kagad pag nagpapunta ako doon, nagpa-test, tapos biglang malalaman ba kagad? How fast or how long will the test take and how long will the results be in?
If you went for HIV testing po sa aming mga centers, as fast as 1 to 2 hours, meron ka na pong result. You just need to get blood and it will be tested. Meron na po yung HIV test results. If you are HIV negative, then we will be teaching you ways on how to stay negative. If you are positive, then we will guide you for your next steps para maka-access ka ng treatment, para ma-access na yung other tests na kailangan para masimulan na yung medication.
I see. So medyo mas malinaw yung...
Tapos nabanggit mo din na merong PrEP at meron pang ART. What is ART? Ano yung ART?
Yung PrEP po, yun po yung sinasabi ko po kanina na gamot na iniinom ng isang taong negative para maiwasan ng HIV. Ang ART or antiretroviral treatment, ito po yung mga gamot na iniinom ng HIV positive people or people living with HIV para parang maintenance na gamot so that hindi dumami yung kanilang viral load, yung dami ng HIV sa kanilang katawan. So they have to take this medicine for the rest of their life for now because there's no cure for HIV. But there is treatment na para siya maintenance na gamot na iniinom mo para hindi lumala ang iyong condition. So para kapag may hypertension or may diabetes, meron ka lang pong maintenance na gamot. And that's ART.
Yung ART na yan ba libre?
Yes po. Ang ART po is provided by the government for free. In our facilities in Love Yourself, we also provide ART for free.
Yung PrEP, is that for free as well?
Yung PrEP po, currently it's not provided by the government. There's a price for that. If you want to start PrEP, the overall package para makapag-start ka ng PrEP medication is for 2,000 pesos. That includes 1 bottle, all the consultations, and all the tests na kailangan. And for maintenance, that's for 1,500 per bottle. But you can stop anytime. You don't have to take it forever. If you can take it at times na kailangan mo lang, You can take it at times na, if you think you are at risk, then you can take that medication and stop taking it. Basta guided ka lang ng doctor.
So yung mga sinasabi mo, available lang siya sa inyo or over the counter, let's say sa isang pharmacy? Saan siya pwedeng ma-purchase?
Unfortunately, yung pong mga antiretroviral drugs, since they are provided by the government, it's not available in pharmacies. It can be only accessed sa Love Yourself facilities and other treatment hubs in the Philippines. It's also the location, if they cannot go to our facilities, it's also found in our website. Yan po naka-flash ngayon sa ating screen. There are other treatment hubs in the Philippines, all over the Philippines, where they can access this medication. But for PrEP, it's a different story because not all facilities in the Philippines offers PrEP. Here in Manila, there are some private doctors and there are very few private facilities that offers PrEP. But for Love Yourself facilities, we offer PrEP services.
I see.
But that not for free. Yung PrEP nyo, hindi for free,
No,
right?
it's not for free.
Opo. Hindi po siya for free. Yung pong for treatment lang for people living with HIV, yun po yung
I see.
Bukod sa treatment or testing ng HIV or AIDS status, mayroon ba kayong part ng inyong organization, mayroon ba kayong parang bukod sa psychological treatment para sa mga nagpa-positive or mga what do you call this, mga organizations, associations na parang support group?
Well, in Love Yourself, we have services po that addresses those. Like, for example, if you are diagnosed positive, we understand that it may be hard for them to take it kasi there are so many issues that is attached to having an HIV positive status. We have life coaches in our facility who can guide them with regards to their treatment process. With regards to maintaining their treatment in our facility, tuloy-tuloy rin po yung mga counseling sessions na ito so that we can provide psychological and psychosocial support para sa mga clients namin to. Also, we have a program in Love Yourself. We call it the Flourish Circle. The Flourish Circle is a program that addresses mental health concerns and mental health needs. So we can refer our clients to this service if they need it para ma-address po yung kanilang mga concerns. But there are also other support groups that are very much active with regards to providing psychosocial support and all that the care and support that they need. Like for example, if siya po ay mother na may HIV tapos po buntis pa siya, there are specific organizations who are providing those services. But for Love Yourself, since most of our market is the LGBTQ plus community, most of our services are really targeted for that community. But it's no problem. Wala naman po problema if you are straight and if you want to have yourself tested sa aming facility. Wala naman problema doon. But for the care and support, we will be referring you to other organizations if you need those. But yun nga po, we have life coaches and counselors who are providing psychosocial support for them.
So ganito, Dandy, since we're talking about this, talagang very interested talaga ako, not because I know for a fact na different pageant groups, different pages and our followers, here sa the Philippine Pageantry, we have more than 386,000 followers and then ang daming kabataan doon.
Yes.
Diba? Ang daming kabataan doon. And then gusto naming, at least kahit papano, mabigyan naman ng serbisyo sila when it comes to informing them with the proper facts and details that we should know.
Yes.
And one of these young people that we have right now is isang Mr. Philippines who came out this year. So habang nandito ka, Dandik, I think let's introduce him para lang makilala natin. And then maybe he has questions as member of the younger generation. I think he's in the age group na binanggit mo kaninang pinakamarami. Para makakita, maka-feeling naman ng mga audience natin ngayon at mga manonood later on pa na makarelate sila kasi they see us decent people and everything Pero ito makikita naman nila itong kakaedad nila. May itsura pa, di ba? And Gerard, introduce mo nga sino itong isang bisita natin.
Yes. Okay, I met him last year because he competed here in Vietnam. He's 23 years old and he's from Bulacan. And he won he competed in Mr. and Miss Culture World, which happened in Ho Chi Minh here in Vietnam. And last April 15, he came out using his social media account about his sexual preference. And according to him, according to his post, he decided to live the truth and honesty as he's a member of the LGBT community. So let's bring in my our Mr. Philippines, Mr. Culture World Ambassador, uh, Dre Arias.
Hi,
Hey
Dre.
guys!
Hello,
Hi guys, how
Dre.
you doing? Maraming salamat po thank you for having me here. I am so excited to be here. Nag-enjoy lang ako sa backstage kanina kasi naka-standby ako. Sobrang nag-enjoy ako sa mga talk natin. But let me say hi sa viewers po natin ngayon sa the Philippine Pageantry viewers. Maraming salamat po sa pagsama sa amin ngayong gabi. And hello po Sir Tristan, Sir Danvic, and Sir Gerard. Maraming salamat po for having me.
Yes.
Yan. Thank you.
So,
May
pinag-uusapan
question po,
namin, pinag-uusapan namin, Dre, itong sitwasyon ng mga kabataang kagaya mo na connected sa HIV and AIDS status sa Pilipinas. Andito si Mr. Danvic Rosadinho. And then, ikaw, may mga questions ka ba? I mean, ikaw nagpa-test ka na rin ba? Et cetera.
Yeah, I was really listening. HIV awareness advocate din po ako dito sa Bulacan po. Okay po yung nagkakaroon tayo ng platform such as this in this trying times, lalo pa pandemic ngayon na hindi lang yung dapat nating pagtuunan ng pansin. Thank you po Sir Danvic for shedding some light sa ating mga viewers, lalo na sa mga kagaya kong kabataan. Maraming salamat po dun sa part na yon. And what else? I just want to say na hindi po nagre-revolve ang HIV cases sa LGBT community. Nagkakaroon po tayo ng cases sa mga straight na na mga lalaki, na mga babae. Hindi po siya na-acquire dahil ikaw ay bakla, tomboy, o kahit ano pang member ng LGBT, kung paano mo kinaklasify ang identity mo. And it's just big deal siguro dito sa Philippines kasi sobrang ang lakas talaga ng stigma, sobrang natatakot sa HIV. Huwag po tayong matakot sa HIV, matakot po tayo kung hindi tayo magpapatest at hindi malalaman kung ano ba talaga ang dapat nating gawin sa ating health. Kasi kung negative ka nga, all you have to do is maintain that to really take care of yourself, take care of your health. And if positive ka, just take your maintenance na kasi para din talaga yung diabetes na talagang kinokontrol, binabawasan ang chance na talagang lumala yung mga cases natin. Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. Always good.
So do you have any questions, Dre?
Questions po, wala naman po masyado. Nag-enjoy lang ako. Actually, okay lang po na nasa backstage ako. Nakikinig na lang talaga ako.
Kasi later, mag-uusap pa tayo ng mas mahaba-haba. So, kaya ka lang namin i-invite kasi baka may questions ka. Habang nandito si Sir Danrick from Love Yourself Foundation. At nasabi mo nga na isa kang advocate din ng HIV.
Opo.
HIV advocate. Okay, so Tristan?
So while we have Dre here at Danvic, bakit sa tingin mo ang pinakamataas ang cases ng HIV sa Pilipinas? Ano sa age group between 25 to 35?
Excuse me po, hindi ko po nakuha yung last part.
Yes. Kasi dito sa Pilipinas ngayon, ang pinakamataas na cases ng HIV ay nasa age group ng 25 years old to 35 years old.
Hindi ko po masasabi talaga yung pinakadahilan, pero I think it's lack of education na lang din. Hindi kasi natin na-educate ng tama ang mga areas dito sa Philippines, lalo ngayon mas gugustuhin ng mga tao na na dahil sa takot wag na lang malaman yung status nila. Kaya po
ano ma-advise
education.
Yes.
And then and on the side ng HIV, parang sabihin natin na uso yung term na asymptomatic. Tama ba? Parang sa COVID, di ba? So parang you cannot easily identify or kung ikaw ay carrier.
Oo nga pala, ganun Danvic. Paano yung mga asymptomatic na sinasabi?
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Paano yun?
I agree po with the asymptomatic. Once you
Oo.
have HIV, hindi po siya nagre-reflect agad. It takes
Mhm.
around 2 to 10 years bago siya umappear na magkaroon ng symptoms. Ganun po
Ng
siyang katagal.
HIV?
Yes po, 2 to 10 years. Ganun po siyang katagal.
Kung hindi
But,
nagpa-test.
opo, correct. Kung
Or,
hindi po nagpa-test. Kasi the only way
Okay.
for you to know your status is to have yourself tested. And there are many
Mm.
concerns kung bakit yun nga they don't know their status, they don't know what to do. Kasi I agree with Dre. That's one reason, that's one major reason kung bakit we are scared to talk about it, and bakit mataas in certain groups, bakit pinakamataas sa 25 to 34, at bakit sobrang bilis ng pagtaas
Mhm.
sa 15 to 24. It's because first, it's lack of education. And if you lack education, you tend to explore because this is life. You wanted to explore
and
more of
let's admit it, di ba? 15 to 24, naging dyan ang sexual awareness yung ating
Yes.
experiment and everything di ba? So,
yes, it's not only the sexual awareness on that age, but it's really more of regardless of your age, what we believe in Love Yourself, ang pinakamatinding dahilan kung bakit tumataas ang HIV in the Philippines is because we tend to search our love from different people. And it's not bad for us na maghanap ng pagmamahal sa ibang tao. It's not bad for us to search for that validation for you to feel complete by searching it to other people. And, sometimes at this continuous search of, exploring and searching for the one that you love, you tend to give up yourself and you tend to, to give it all to that someone. Regardless of, you don't know their status, you don't know if they have been tested for HIV. And it's not bad. But what we need is that if you know how to take care of yourself, alam mo kung paano mo aalagaan ang sarili mo, you know how to protect yourself, regardless of your status, whether you're HIV negative or HIV positive. And by that means, kaya mo na siyang i-share sa ibang tao on how to really promote self-worth and self-love to other people. Kaya po siguro pangalan namin Love Yourself. It's really because we believe that the best way for us to prevent the spread of HIV epidemic in the Philippines is for us to
just
love
love
ourselves.
yourself.
Love
You
yourself.
mentioned kanina, that's a good para talagang yun na nga, kasi pag bata ka, akala mo ang daling makuha ng love kung kani-kanino na lang, pero hindi, dapat unahin mo muna i-love yung sarili mo before you're able to love other people. Find your worth, find your value first. Kasi minsan akala natin wala na tayong value and we can only see our value through other person's love for us. No. We have to love ourselves first. Tama nga yung love yourself na yan. But balik ako dun sa talagang it really struck me a while ago, Dad Vic. Yung sa sinabi mo na 10 years ba bago malaman? What? Kung asymptomatic?
Yes po. If you don't know your status, ang ginagawa po niyan unti-unti ng HIV doon sa katawan, if ever someone is HIV positive at nakuha niya yung HIV, tapos hindi siya nagpa-test, unti-unti po niya sisirain yung immune system. And for some, it takes 2 years. But for those people na napaka-tibay ng kanilang immune system and, maraming factors bago siya masira, the maximum time bago siya umappear yung mga symptoms is 10 years. And those symptoms...
Sorry, excuse me. Yung symptoms na yun nagli-lead sa complications ba? Like, yung iba sinasabi nila nagli-lead sa pneumonia or other diseases, right?
Yes, correct po. Ang tawag po sa mga symptoms na to ay opportunistic infections. Ang ibig sabihin po ng opportunistic infections is that if itong mga sakit na to ay uma-appear because they take the opportunity na umappear because mahina ang iyong immune system. So these are pneumonia. In the Philippines, ang common po na opportunistic infections ay pneumonia, tuberculosis, mga skin rashes, at extreme diarrhea. Yan po yung common here in the Philippines. Na if possible, itong mga sakit na to, napiprevent po kasi to if you have a clean, if your immune system is actually very healthy. But if mahina ang iyong immune system, you have no control over the environment. You have no control of people, not people, you have no control over the bacteria na pumapasok sa'yo. And if napasukan ka ng bacteria, then that's pneumonia. If napasukan ka ng tuberculosis, the bacteria, then that's TB. Ito po yung mga opportunistic infections na normally, if you are healthy at walang malakas ang iyong immune system, hindi aatakihin ng katawan mo. But if mahina ang iyong immune system, then a-appear ito sa'yo. Those are the opportunistic infections. At yun po yung symptoms na sinasabi ko po kanina, na these appear if mahina ng iyong immune system.
Pero, halimbawa, kagaya na sinabi mo kanina na kung hindi ako magpapatest, halimbawa, and then the symptoms will show, kung halimbawa positive ako at hindi ko alam, asymptomatic ako, and then lalabas yan in 2 to 10 years, maximum of 10 years. Pero it means I'm already positive. Asymptomatic lang ako, right?
Correct. So ibig sabihin po, if you are not having your HIV test, and if you are asymptomatic pala, there's a possibility that you are sharing that HIV to other people. Kasi you're not taking treatment na treatment para mapababa yung HIV sa iyong katawan. So there's a possibility na pwede mo siyang ma-share sa ibang tao. That's why the only way para po, para malaman mo kung how you can take care of yourself further is kailangan mo magpa-test. Para if you are HIV negative, you know what to do. If you're HIV positive, you need to start treatment para ma-maintain mo na yung HIV sa iyong katawan at hindi mo na siya maipasa sa iba.
I see.
So technically, it's actually safer. It's actually safer na makipag-sex sa isang taong may HIV na umiinom ng treatment kaysa sa isang taong hindi ko alam kung anong HIV status niya.
That's better. Kasi nga, so pwedeng halimbawa ako, hindi sinabing ako per se, halimbawa, someone is not sexually active, tapos for the last 8 years. Sabihin natin, 8 years ago, I was sexually active and everything like that, but 8 years, hindi. Tapos akala ko wala akong sakit, wala akong symptoms kasi behave ako and everything Without me realizing, meron na pala ako dahil 8 years ago nahawa ko. Is that possible?
Yes, it's possible po. Looking at that possibility, yes, it is.
So talagang kahit na akala mo safe ka, kahit na behave ka in everything, kahit na 10 years ka pang behave or less than 10 years kang behave, at so the best way to really know is to really have yourself tested.
Yeah, get tested.
Yeah. Yes, that's the only way. That's why we're very thankful with many advocates who are really advocating the need for HIV testing. That's why we're very thankful with Dre and with other beauty queens who are taking the cause. It's because wala pong mukhang HIV someone who has HIV can look like us. They can act like us, and they can live like us. So we are very thankful for advocates and those people who has the power to share these messages to everyone. Kung makikinig man sila sa isang tao that they can take inspiration to, at mahila lang sila, not mahila, but really more of ma-inspire sila na magpa-test, then that's great. Because this is one way for them na mas malaman nila kung paano nila mas aalagaan ang kanilang sarili.
Okay.
So that's really great because ako sa totoo lang I can say na alam ko, I can read, I can Google search, I know facts and details about this, pero hindi ko alam na yung one thing I've learned from you today is yung may possibility palang asymptomatic ako kahit na ilang taon na, kahit na 8 years, 9 years, or 10 years siguro, di ba? Kasi sabi mo maximum Pero there's a possibility that it could be more, di ba? Or anyone for that matter, my friends or anyone. So that's something that we really have to get ourselves tested. And then kagaya nga nasabi ni Danvik earlier, later on this year they will be having they will be sending self-testing kits, right?
At home. Home
yun,
testing.
para matuto. Ano yun? Libre ba yung self-testing kits na yan? Danvik?
Unfortunately, natapos na po yung demonstration project namin to try it out for free. So, pag offer namin in the future, there might be a payment, but it may be offered for free for those who cannot afford it.
Yes,
I
exactly,
see, I see, I
exactly.
see.
So we have learned so much today. Meron ka ba ikaw Dre, meron ka bang gusto
May
pang
question ka ba?
tanungin?
May question?
Po. Wala naman po, pero siguro may tanong po ako isa lang. I think parang hindi siguro enough talaga yung yung hindi po ba talaga enough yung seminars na nangyayari sa Philippines ngayon para ma-educate lahat ng areas dito sa Philippines?
That's a very good question, Dre. Kasi here in the Philippines, wala kasi tayong comprehensive sexual education. Even in our schools, even though it's mandated by law, hindi pa siya na-apply. Kasi there are fears. Like for example, merong mga teachers na medyo hesitant sila na ituro sex education kasi kahit sila para they're conservative, ganyan.
Tabu sa kanila
Tabu,
yun.
Oh,
yeah.
it's still taboo. In the Philippines kasi hindi natin pinag-uusapan ng sex eh. That's why it's very conservative for us na pag-usapan to. So for us to be for us to share awareness, ang pinakamagandang paraan first is to not treat sex as taboo, na para mas pag-usapan natin to in a healthy discussion na hindi siya kabastos-bastos, parang ganon. But really more of so that if pag-usapan natin ang about sex, then mas mapapag-usapan natin yung mga issues na naka-attach about sex. So that includes HIV, sexually transmitted infections, teenage pregnancy, lahat na to nakadikit na yan dito. So it's not enough, but with people like you and all those who has the power to send a message to everyone, it will be really great for us if we share this message for those people who listens to us. Kasi they may take inspiration from us, and they may be inspired to do something so that they can take care of themselves. And if nalaman nila and alam nila kung paano nila mas alagaan ang kanilang sarili, then that's the time that they can share it to other people. Kasi they may have friends na at risk pa, or they may have loved ones na nag-share sa kanila na may nakasex ako or may nabuntis ako, ganyan. So, sharing it to other people is really one way for us to break the taboo concept of sex here in the Philippines. Na magagawa pa natin to if magtutulong-tulungan tayo. So mas magandang mas maraming advocates para maipakalat pa natin yung message na to. And we are thankful that you are.
Thank you for that, Danby. Kasi sa totoo lang, that's one thing that, kagaya na nabanggit mo kanina, it hit close to home because I know for a fact that a lot of young people look for love anywhere without them really loving themselves first. They misconstrue their need of not of love, of a fatherly love, of a familial love, into sexual love. Akala nila sexual love yun eh. That is one thing that we have to also teach our viewers and our friends and our society na yung the LGBTQ plus A++ community, hindi yan tungkol sa sex lang, hindi yan tungkol sa sexual intercourse or anything. It's about humanity. That's what, it's about, we have to really learn na, kasi palaging yun ang nasa utak. Pag gay, it's about sex. Pag AIDS or HIV, it's about sex. Though yes, technically, isa sa mga ways yun para mahawa, but hindi lamang gays or yung homosexuals ang nahahawa dito, even the straight people, even the mother can transfer it by her milk, di ba? Sabi mo nga kanina. So it's not about that. So we have to really, yung mindset natin, mindset na nakikinig ng mga kapatid, kaibigan, mga kabataan ng fans ng pageantry, fans ng ating mga stars and everything. Do not rush. Do not find love kahit saan-saan, kahit kani-kanino. Love yourself first. Love yourself first kasi if you love yourself, you would know and appreciate your own value. Diba? Yun eh. Walang pwedeng magbaba sa atin o sa inyo. And that's where pride is coming from.
Yes.
If you know and love yourself, diba? If you value yourself, you will have pride within yourself eh. And that is what we're celebrating now, June 28, 2020, the 51st year since the Stonewall riots in Greenwich Village.
Yeah.
Sana sa susunod, pag madami pa kaming gustong malaman, Dan Vic, nandiyan pa rin ang Love Yourself at maturuan mo pa kami at ang mga viewers. Ha?
Yes.
And
Opo,
then,
anytime.
and we're happy. I've learned a lot.
Salamat po.
I mean, I thought I know a lot of things already, but I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot.
Yes.
Kaya pala Love Yourself pala yung pangalan, di ba? Kasi yun lang yun, di ba? Well, thank you, Dan
by the way,
Vic. Yes.
when was founded pala itong organization nyo? Itong organization, Love Yourself?
Our organization started po in 2011 with just 6 people. Nagusto
very
lang
recent
tulungan.
pala.
Opo, nagusto lang nila tulungan ng kanilang mga friends. Right now, we grew around 1,200 volunteers. At kasama po doon si Pia at si Catriona na volunteers namin sa Love Yourself.
Para ako nga, gusto ko na rin mag-volunteer eh.
Maging advocate
Yes,
ka na rin.
anyone can be a volunteer. Nasa website din po namin 'yon. Meron po doon na section na I want to volunteer para po if they are interested to volunteer for Love Yourself. Kasi there are many volunteer opportunities in Love Yourself kung saan pwede po silang tumulong.
So,
okay.
Thank you very much, Dan Vic.
Thank you.
At kagaya nga nasabi namin, sana sa susunod, mas matulungan pa natin ang mas marami tungkol sa maging aware, i-test nila sarili nila, and then maging talaga tayo na it is something serious that we really have to face head-on. Kasi ang daming nahahawa. Sabi mo nga, ang taas, mabilis ang pagtaas between 15 to 24-year-old na which is isa yun sa pinakamarami naming followers dito. Thank you for that. And then later on, we'll talk more with Dre tungkol sa kanyang journey naman. Sa journey niya. At saka I believe, Dre, meron kang BL series ngayon, Boys Love series, right?
Opo. Una ko pong pagbibidahan yun. Mamaya na po.
Mamaya natin pag-usapan yun. Then we'll go back to telling the news. And then pagbalik natin, we will be telling the news, yung iba pang news na meron kami dito. And then pagbalik natin, ikaw naman, Dre, ang aming iba-barbecue. Kasi para atang biglang tignan mo naman tong photo mo rito di ba?
That was, I think, 1 year ago. Back then I was eating everything rice.
Kaya madaming nagagalit sa mga members sa LGBTQ community kasi bakit daw ang cute ng mga members sa LGBTQ community, di ba?
We're just loved by our Lord.
Yes. So, thank you again, Dan Vic. Thank you.
Thank you po, Sir Dan Vic.
Andre, balik tayo mamaya, ha?
Balik po.
Bye, Dan Vic. Thank you.
Bye po. Thank you so much po. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much.
Any last words or message that you would like to impart, Dan Vic?
If they need our services and if they need anything from us, they can just visit our website. Yan din po naka-flash, www.loverself.ph. They can also like our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. There are volunteers who are very willing to help you. And if you want to help, just also visit the website. Also for us to love, the best way for us to prevent or to take care of ourselves is really to love ourselves. Yun lamang po. Thank you so much po.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you so much. Okay. So, mamaya si Dre naman ang kakausapin natin. Okay, so speaking of love yourself or loving yourself, don't you know that the world's oldest person is in the Philippines? Tristan?
I think I saw a post about that. Sige nga, kwento ka nga.
Okay, let's meet Francisca Susano, who was born on September 11, 1897 in Negros Occidental. As per record, Lola Francisca is the oldest person in the Philippines at 122 years old. So more than a century and 22, centennial, 122 years old. Once the Gerontology Research Group, an organization that verifies birth records, finished processing Lola Francisca's documents with the help of the Philippine government, she may be now officially be hailed by the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's oldest living person. And she was born a year before the Philippine independence, and she also survived the Spanish flu pandemic in 1918 and witnessed both World War One and World War Two, and is now bravely facing another war, the world's battle with COVID-19. So the pandemic, another pandemic. Lola Francisca has 14 children, 8 are still living, and the oldest is 99 years old. She has more than 100 grandchildren, including the ones from the third and fourth generation. And do you know what's the secret of Lola Francisca? According to
Ano?
her, according to her, since her younger years, she ate a lot of vegetables and a minimal amount of meat, except pork. Okay, because I think she needs protein, right? So she can still walk upright, talk straight, hear clearly, and plays the harmonica. She will be turning 123 years old this year, and let's pray for her good health.
Well,
So okay, as far as I know, that the oldest living person is in Japan with the age of 117, I think.
yes.
Pero yung validation ng Guinness Book of World Records, parang the family applied for it and then na-validate ng Guinness. And then yun nga, binigay sa kanya yung record as the oldest living human being in the world.
No, I think yung sinasabi mo sa Japan, namatay na eh. I think eh. Kaya
Yes, yes,
parang
yes.
transfer sa kanya, parang ganun.
Yes, parang na-dethrone
Na-dethrone.
So parang si Lolo ngayon ang title holder. At nakakatuwa naman kasi syempre parang as her advice na, eat a lot of vegetables and, maybe get away from vices.
At
So,
nag-ano pa siya, nagpapatugtog pa siya ng harmonica.
kaya nga, yun na nga eh. So parang she's living a healthy life. And of course, siguro yun nga, yung support ng family din sa kanya.
At ang panganay niya, ilang taon?
Yeah, surprisingly, 99 years old. So,
Well,
the boy-
actually, hindi siya surprising. Pero sa totoo lang, because of her age, 122, right?
so at
So,
what age? Yeah. So, do
23
the math.
siya or 23 siya, nagkaanak siya or something like
Yes,
that. Or tama
yes.
nga ba?
You do the math. Yeah, 23 years old.
Nung nagkaanak siya. So, ngayon 99. So, wow, buhay pa kaya yung anak niya din?
Eh, sabi daw, parang ano pa eh, parang may 8 pa na buhay. So, ayun.
So, anong name niya? Siya si Lola
Francisca Susano.
Francisca Susano. Saan siya? Sa Negros Occidental.
Yeah, from Negros Occidental. Yeah. And she'll be
So-
celebrating, her birthday this year, 123 years.
Wow, Lola, congratulations. You have,
Yeah.
So 2020, naku, nung panahon ata siya ni nung 1898 since we declared our
National
Philippine
Independence.
independence,
Yeah,
di ba?
Philippine Independence. Yeah.
Oh.
And actually, na-survive din niya yung isang pandemic, which is the Spanish flu in 1918.
Yes,
So,
in 1918 and 1919, yes, that
in
is
her
correct.
lifetime, she experienced like dalawang massive pandemic.
Pandemics talaga. Talagang 2 pandemics, di ba?
Yes, in her lifetime. So, congratulations, Lola.
Yes, Lola, congratulations in advance. Happy birthday, Lola.
Congratulations.
Diba? Talagang wow.
Congratulations po.
And more strength, Lola. More strength. And then to her family, congratulations. And then sige pa, hindi lang dapat 123, umabot ka pa ng 130 years old pa. More 7 years to go, at least, diba?
Yeah, yes.
And then continue having an alert mind. Nakakatayo pa daw, di ba? Nakakatayo pa and everything.
She can walk straight and talk straight. At yun nga, nakapag-harmonica pa nga si Lola. So,
I think Ilonggo to. Ilonggo ba tawag sa mga taga Negros Occidental?
Negrense.
Negrense or something.
Yeah, yes.
Bacolod. Kasi nalilito ako. Yeah, Bacolod pala yun nasa Negros.
Yes,
So
yes.
coming from a 122-year-old world record holder of the oldest person or woman in the world, who is Miss our Lola Francisca Susano, who is in Negros Occidental. And we're also going to be talking about another kahangahangang tao who just recently passed away.
Yeah. So may I continue, Tristan?
Yes.
Okay, we're talking about the late Senator Ramon Revilla Sr. bowed down at the age of 93. The former Senator Ramon Revilla Sr., the popular action star whose fame propelled him to the Senate of the Philippines died of heart failure on Friday at 5:20 p.m. He was 93. In a brief Facebook Live video by his son, Senator Ramon Bong Revilla Jr. announced the passing of his father and namesake, who had been bedridden for 12 years after surviving stroke in 2008. Revilla, who came to be known by the nickname Agimat or Amulet, then acted in, wrote, and directed several other box office hits through his own movie production company, the Imus Productions, whose managed was later passed on to his children, including to the incumbent senator. In 1992, he was elected to the Senate and authored several laws, including the Public Works Act of 1995 and amendments to the Dangerous Drugs Act, the Children's Media Act, and amendments to gun laws, among others. The wake of the late senator is at the Revilla's mansion in Bacoor, Cavite. So he was really a legend, Tristan.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I've heard that. I saw the posts
From
of
yeah,
some people close to him and close to the
mm-hmm,
family. Since even before he died, they were really hoping that because around a week ago he underwent a medical procedure.
mm-hmm,
So we thought that his prognosis was good, but then all of a
mm-hmm.
sudden nga, yun na nga, he passed away. So
And
condolences
then,
to the Bautista
mhm,
and Revilla family.
yeah, our condolences.
And then, ano pa? Ano yung sabi mo? And then,
And then, yun nga, yung condition niya for the past 12 years, he was bedridden. And yeah, he survived stroke in 2008. So
hmm,
at the age of 93, I think he accomplished so much. And,
so much.
the legacy that he handed on to the family and, of course, to the society, from show business to politics. So, he's really a legend. He was a legend.
So, yes, our deepest sympathy to the family, to the bereaved family of the Revilla and the Bautista clan of Cavite. And
Mm-hmm.
thank you for the movies. Thank you for the memories in Philippine cinema and the legend, the legend that he is now, ang agimat ng Cavite, sabi nga nila.
Yes, ang agimat, yeah.
So
Okay, so in other,
from one legend to another legend. So we're going to be talking about the legend in Araneta Center, whom we
yes.
call Madam Stella Marquez Araneta.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Stella Marquez Araneta, chair of Bilibiling Pilipinas Charities Incorporated, has announced that Miss Universe 2018 Catriona Gray will conduct e-training sessions for the candidates of Bilibiling Pilipinas 2020. Gray will be joined by Bilibiling Pilipinas, one of the Bilibiling Pilipinas grand winners in 2016, Nicole Cordoves, to teach the 2020 candidates on how to stand out within a beauty pageant. And this is as what Mrs. Stella Marquez said, and we quote, "We are delighted that Catriona and Nicole will provide online training and pageant prep classes to help this year's batch of 40 candidates and give each of them a winning chance," said Mrs. Araneta. "Being in a beauty pageant, competition requires a lot of preparation and hard work.
Mm-hmm. So
And
your
you have to
taking.
be confident about yourself, your poise and personality, regardless of the way others see you. Therefore, it is important to be truly prepared and fully trained. Stage presence and the physical attributes of the contestants are very important, but the interview portion is equally important, that you demonstrate talent, intelligence, and the ability to answer the judges' questions. You should know how to speak well and gracefully before the public," said Mrs. Araneta. Schedules for the online training sessions will be announced soon on Binibining Pilipinas Charities Incorporated's social media pages and facilities.
Okay. So
So
magkakaroon tayo ng
talagang
comprehensive talaga yung training for the Binibinis for this year, no? And
Yes.
as we all know that these two women here are really good speakers kasi talagang they really prove the the world or the universe na talagang
It was-
pagdating sa
And
Q&A,
Gerard, it was
talagang
Nicole Cordoves
kalaban.
who helped train Catriona for the Q&A. Yun ang alam
Yeah,
na alam
yes.
ko, di ba?
Isa
And
siya dun
now
sa team niya,
talagang
sa Q&A training.
at
Tapos ngayon magkasama na sila.
magkasama
to train
sila.
other Filipinos. Yes,
So
yes.
this is going
So,
to be
we're seeing-
a
we're
coup de
seeing,
grace.
Yeah, and
It's
we're
a coup
seeing
de
of,
grace, di ba?
yes, exactly.
It's a coup de grace talaga. Kasi madami ng chismis noon kung saan tutulong or anong pageant or organization tutulong si Catriona or even si Nicole Cordoves.
Yes,
Pero somehow hindi ako nagulat. We're not surprised that Catriona and Nicole is going to be helping out Binibining Pilipinas, the most prestigious national pageant in the Philippines so far. 'Di ba? So tignan natin kung paano ang magiging pagbabagong gagawin sa training at paano matutulungan itong dalawa nating beauty queen ang ating mga upcoming Binibining Pilipinas queens.
Yeah, because a binibini is once a binibini.
It's always a binibini.
Yes, yeah, they live by that saying, no. So okay, let's move on to the next. So a while ago, we asked Dre during our discussion with Love Yourself organization. So let's bring him in once again.
Hey guys, am I back?
Ay, sorry. Yes.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hi again, Dre. Ito ulit
Hi, am I
tayo.
back?
Yes, you're back.
Hello po
Yeah.
ulit.
Yeah, itong si Dre.
I'm back with class.
Yeah, okay. So itong si Dre, I met him last year because I knew that there's a Filipino competing in Vietnam. So syempre, Filipino pride. So parang it's our honor to receive a visitor from the Philippines and representing our country in an international stage or international competition. So prior to that, nagkausap na kami niya bago siya dumating, and then I received him from the airport. And then all throughout his stay in Ho Chi Minh here in Saigon, marami kaming napag-usapan, marami kaming nakapag-bonding kami kahit papaano. Kasi hindi kami masyadong magkakilala ni Dre, but
Gerard, kung
Yes.
ganyan ang itsura ang sasalubungin, talagang sasalubungin ko rin, di ba?
hindi kasi, ako naman kasi, yeah, because you're in the Philippine Pageantry kasi we support every Filipino
Yes.
na lumalaban internationally, not just
Thank you.
locally. So parang sabi ko, yun, bilang yun yan, nakatira dito sa Ho Chi Minh sa Vietnam for 7 years. So parang may bagong may bisita. So, it's my responsibility to receive a visitor. So, let's...
Thank you, Sir Gerard. Actually, Sir Tristan, if it weren't for Sir Gerard, I think I'd be lost. It's my first day in Vietnam because nobody did pick up me. Nobody picked me up in the airport.
Yeah. Okay, so ito Dre, punta na tayo dito sa, actually medyo na nagulat, ang daming nagulat dun sa circle ng friends mo as well, of course. Kasi sabi ko, ako personally, nagkaroon tayo na encounter for like couple of weeks, diba? So parang sabi ko, dito si Dre, ganito siya, ganito yung pakikitungo niya sa tao, ganito siya yung makipagkapwa, ito siya bilang siya. So, I don't have any hints or idea na may ganun ka palang pinagdadaanan when I met you. And then I came across dun sa pinost mo nung April 15, if that is correct, no? So medyo nag-trending siya actually. So actually nagulat ako dun sa revelation na yon, and you expressed your emotions or feelings sa platform mo, sa social media account mo personally. So ang daming reactions, ang daming opinions, ang dami-daming nagbibigay ng mga, alam mo na, mga messages of support. May iba naman na medyo iba yung thinking nila about coming out. So, ano yung parang pwede mong ma-share sa amin nung mga younger years mo bago ka pa mag-compete?
Years.
So, yeah. So, when was the first time that you joined pageants pala?
First time that I joined a pageant was when I was back in college,
Okay.
nag-ano po ako, nag-Mr. Bulsu, Bulacan State University, and I was out sa family ko, sa friends ko, and they
Mhm.
are so fine with it. And until sinabihan na po ako nung parang head na um, kailangan mong maging discreet, kailangan hindi ka out sa public para manalo ka dito sa Mr. Bulacan State University. And nung nanalo ako, akala ko, kailangan pala talaga na
Mhm.
hindi ako out. Kaya ako ang thinking ko noon, kaya ako nanalo bukod po sa binigay ko yung best ko, ay talagang hindi na nanalo ang mga kapwa nating nasa lane ng LGBT. Ayun po yung naging thinking ko, and I was just 17 back then. Kaya sobrang naniniwala talaga ako sa mga sinasabi ng mga nakakataas. Pero syempre nung April, I found my purpose. May napatunayan na tayo, and ayoko mag-stop yun doon. Gusto kong maka-inspire ng mga tao na huwag nang matakot. Kaya
So,
ako po
so,
ginawa yun.
okay, so balik pa tayo. So at what age did you discover na, okay, may something sa'yo na parang the way you think, the way yung feelings mo towards things, towards the people around.
Actually, to be honest, everything was so blurry back then,
Mhm.
because growing up, I didn't know that I was really acting. I'm not acting that straight.
Mhm.
I'm acting a little bit of off
Mhm.
para sa ibang tao, because sa family ko, sir, wala namang ganun eh. Kung ano yung kinikilos ko, wala namang problema sa kanila, and I was okay
Okay.
back then.
Mhm.
What the confirmation kicked in sa akin nung nag-college din ako, na nagkaroon ako ng best friend, na
Mhm.
nagkaroon ako ng gusto, and I was really devastated that time kasi nag-out ako for him and nawala din siya. So
Mhm.
medyo medyo magulo yung mga nangyari sa akin back then. Kaya ayoko maranasan din ng mga tao
Mhm.
na
So,
nasa edad ko.
ibig mong sabihin bago ka mag-out noon, ito nga nitong huli, parang may idea na yung family mo. May
Ay, out
idea na
na
yung
po ako
family
sa
about you.
family ko. Out na po ako talaga sa family ko.
Hmm.
Simula pa lang
Okay.
nung first time na naramdaman ko na may kakaiba talaga sa akin, sinabi ko na.
Mhm. Okay. So, ano yung parang nag-push sa'yo to join competitions?
Competitions
Itong male competitions, itong mga pageant
ah,
competitions, male
nung
pageants.
una po, na-enjoy ko lang siya. From school po tayo, di ba? Gusto ko
Mhm.
lang maging pride ng school. And nagawa naman po natin. Tapos nung lumabas na ako, it was, it it was really thrilling for me na ang dami kong nauuwi na title. So
Mhm.
ako, syempre, may mga nare-receive ako na cash prize. Sabi ko, makakatulong to sa sa finance ko sa school. Minsan hindi
Mhm.
na din naman ako masyadong umaasa sa family ko kapag marami akong project. Kapag nanalo ako kapag nanalo ako sa mga pageant ko outside, yun na yung ginagamit ko. Napandadagdag ko yun, although magastos naman talaga ako. Yun yung mga yung mga dahilan kung bakit ako nag-pageant nung college ako. Pero nung graduate na ako, nagkaroon ako ng chance na mag-compete sa national pageant, yung Mr. Continental Philippines nga.
Yes,
Doon na
yes.
ako nagkaroon ng drive na ay gusto ko naman maging pride ng Philippines. Ang taas ng pangarap no.
Okay.
Sabi ko ay one day ipapadala ako ng Pilipinas para mag-compete sa kahit anong bansa. Tapos yun, naniwala lang ako sa pangarap ko, and nagulat na ako one day. Nasa Vietnam na ako, kasama mo.
So, yung
Sinundo mo ako.
okay, yeah, yeah. So, yun na nga, nung sabi mo nung high school ka, nung nasa university ka, nag-join ka ng mga campus pageants. So, parang sabi mo, doon nag-start na sinasabi nila na parang you have to be discreet.
Opo.
Sabi mo kanina. Parang, ano yung feeling mo that time na parang kailangan mo siyang takpan, kailangan hindi nila malaman? Ano yung tumatakbo sa
At
isip mo?
that at that time, I was not really thinking too much.
Aha.
Kasi po parang, alam niyo na, kapag ka po pumasok tayo naman sa isang university, may mga rules para din,
Mhm.
kunyari, maging dean's lister ka, kailangan talaga mag-aral ka mabuti. Alam mo na, may mga certain rules para makapasok sa mga ganung qualification. So,
So, campus
I
figure
was
ka
not,
pala nun. Campus figure ka nun. I mean,
po,
campus figure ka. Campus figure. Parang ganyan. Famous sa
opo,
campus.
ganun po yung
Hindi
nangyari.
lang sa
Pero
pageantry,
kasi,
pati sa academics.
opo,
Okay.
it's not really that big of a deal para
Mhm.
sa akin kasi kung ano naman po yung kinikilos ko, kung paano po ako makipag-usap sa inyo ngayon, ito naman talaga ako. Ang
Mhm.
problema lang, yung sexuality ko nun, hindi po na-disclose. But right
Mhm.
now po, I am so open kasi gusto ko na talagang ma-share sa buong mundo. Siyempre, di ba, nilook forward ko din na kapag nagkaroon ako ng partner, nagkaroon ako ng boyfriend, ayoko namang itago sa mga tao. Gusto ko
Mhm.
malaya kami nakakakilos. Mga ganun
Okay.
po.
So, yun na nga. Nung April 15, nabasa ko yung post mo, and then kausap ko nga yung isa nating friend, na parang sabi namin, yun nga, may gulat. Kasi parang sabi ko nga, di ba, parang hindi para i-judge yung isang tao, pero parang medyo nabigla lang. So parang
Opo.
ito yung turnout of events. Parang hindi ka ba na pressure o paano mo tinanggap? I mean, syempre yung sa sarili mo, yes, of course, you're confident that you are. I mean, I am what I am. So, parang paano naman yung mga tao na parang nasa second circle mo or nasa third circle mo na parang, okay. Paano mo parang tinanggap?
Sir, some people will
Kasi
say na
papasok din yung judgment eh. Papasok yung judgment eh.
opo.
So, paano
Some
mo
people will
tinanggap
say, you're such a strong person na madami pong nag-ano sa akin na grabe ang tapang mo. Okay na
Mhm.
okay, ang galing mo. But at that time, before I posted it, I was really scared. I was
Mhm.
really scared for my career, for the people who loved me for who they thought I was. Kasi parang nasa isip ko nun, paano kung mahal lang nila ako kasi akala nila straight na lalaki ako at nagpa-pageant. Sige, may issue sabihin natin, baka yun lang yung gusto nila, baka facade lang ang minamahal nila sa akin. So I was really scared and hindi naman po ako nagkamali. May mga taong yumakap sa akin at may mga projects akong nawala, may mga taong nagtitiwala sa akin na nagsabi na, oh, parang hindi magta-trust yung mga clients kasi nga nasa LGBT community ka and natakot ako na baka mawalan ako ng career lalo na ngayon sa Philippines po. Let's just face the truth, kapag bakla ka, kapag bisexual ka, nabibigyan ka ba ng project ng kung hindi ka sobrang galing, hindi ka naman pinaprioritize kasi ang parang ginagawa nila ngayon, ang ini-investan nila yung mga love team ng mga straight. So, nothing against sa mga straight kasi nanonood ako niyan. Supportive ako sa lahat ng mga love teams natin and all. Saka lahat ng artista na straight, okay po sa akin yon. Pero, ayun lang, I'm just saying na natakot ako pero I think that time mas nangibabaw sa akin yung love para sa sarili ko at love para sa mga taong natatakot. Ayoko na silang matakot. Gusto ko lumabas na sila sa shell nila and I just wanna release a statement that there's nothing wrong about who we are. There's nothing wrong about who I am because ang binebenta ko po ay ang talento ko. Ang binebenta ko po ay kung sino ako at yung buong ako. And kung magiging big artist po ako, kung magiging malaking artista tayo, ayoko mahalin ako ng tao dahil sa facade. Gusto ko mahalin ako ng tao dahil sa talento ko.
Okay. So yung sinasabi mo kanina, parang ang daming projects na nawala, parang because of coming out. So parang, ano yung naramdaman mo? Parang were you feel discriminated ba? Or ano yung pumasok sa isip mo no, na parang ang daming opportunities na hindi napapunta sa'yo?
Hindi natuloy.
Hindi natuloy, yeah.
Ang lagi, before ko po pinost yun, sinabi ko na po na kung may mawawala man, may mas malaking darating. At lahat po nang nawala sa akin, wala pa po sa kalahati ng natatanggap ko ngayon.
Okay,
Wow.
so parang ano to, mas nagbigay ng clear answers sa sinasabi mo kanina yung blurred vision mo before, parang mas nagkaroon ngayon ng clear direction kung where are you going.
Opo. Sabi ko, hindi pala ako dapat magkaroon ng regret sa lahat ng pinagdaanan ko kasi now, I know where I stand. Alam ko kung bakit nangyari yon. Ngayon, hindi na po ako ano ngayon eh, parang sabihin na nating ano, hindi po too facade itong pinapakita ko. Hindi na ako basta nagja-judge. Saka parang lumaki po yung lawak ng pangunawa ko sa lahat ng aspeto ng bagay kasi ang dami kong nang pagdaanan sa batang-bata ko pa. Ang
Ilan taon
bata-bata
ka
ko
ba?
pala.
Ilan taon ka na ba?
23 na. 23 na po.
23. Kasi you mentioned a short while ago na you decided to come out para pag dumating yung time that you'll fall in love with somebody, you'll be able to really show him to the world kung sino man siya.
The universe rather.
The universe
The
rather.
universe rather.
Bakit? Meron ka bang dinidate ngayon? For sure, madaming gusto magtanong yan. May dinidate ka ba ngayon?
Ngayon po wala. Nakafocus po ako sa career ko kasi kakastart pa lang po eh. Ayoko namang ma-jinx. Alam niyo na?
Okay.
Focus
Teka
lang.
lang, gusto ko ring malaman, di nag-come out ka na sa public. So parang paano naman, siyempre si mami mo, very concerned siya, di ba? Napaka-caring niya kahit ako mini-message niya nung nandun tayo sa Vietnam kasi china-check niya kung kumusta ka na. Kasi alam mo ba, Tristan, for your information, may nangyari kasi hindi maganda sa kanya nun sa Vietnam. So, should I... Di ba parang nawala yung phone niya?
Opo. May nawala.
Yeah.
Nawala pa po yung phone ko sa Vietnam. Na ano po ako, na hold up ba?
Parang ganyan. So parang yun niya, parang pinahiram ko sa kanya yung spare phone ko. So parang nababasa ko somehow yung mga messages ni mom niya na parang, yun nga, parang kinukumusta ko. Kasi wala namang ibang parang access or, alam mo yun, para dito ma-follow up kung ano nangyayari kay Dre.
Salamat talaga, Gerard, andun ka. Kasi bukod sa parang he was at a loss nung dumating siya doon, tapos nawala pa yung phone niya.
So yun. So parang yun niya, nagkaka-chat kami ni mommy niya. So parang ito naman yun sa family. So parang hindi ba sila parang medyo kinabahan din or natakot din sa I know that you ask advice from them.
Ay nako, sir. Hindi po ako, nung nag-post ako niyan, hindi ko sila hiningan ng advice, nagulat sila, nag-post ako. So, nung nakita na nila, nasa sala ako, nasa kwarto sila. So, yun, dalawa silang lumabas. As in, pinag-iisipan mo ba to? Ganyan. As in, sobrang concern nila. And I think that's what parents will do sa mga kagaya ko. Talagang, alam niyo na po, kahit na hindi naman masyadong dapat mag-worry, hindi niyo po maaalis sa kanila yan kasi anak nila kayo.
Hindi kasi, let's admit na sa atin, in the society natin, parang we're living in a judgmental society. So parang, you cannot please everyone actually. Diba? Yun naman talaga eh. So parang yun nga, parang this is really a moment na talagang that you spread your wings and, you know, pinakilala mo kung ano at sino ka, na hindi ka nagtatago sa...
Pero bakit ba't ka nag-decide na lumabas nitong April? Kasi you mentioned yun ang reason mo pero wala ka naman palang boyfriend or you're not dating anyone to really, that pushed you to really come out. So ano ba talaga yung reason?
Not entirely. It's not entirely the reason. It's just a part of my purpose. The purpose is to really open the minds of the many dito sa Philippines, sir. Kasi sobra talaga yung natin sobra yung pagka-ipokrito nating mga Pinoy. Sorry for the word. Pero, ayun, ang dali nating i-judge yung mga pagkakamali at yung mga, ang dali nating sitahin yung mga behavior ng ibang tao pero ang hindi natin ginagawa, we are not looking sa salamin. Hindi natin tinitingnan yung sarili natin. And I think ang laking step na po nung ginawa ko kasi may influence din naman po ako at sa mga natanggap ko po na mga messages and all sa support na nakita ko, naramdaman ko, I think I made a change. May nabago po ako. Kahit isa lang po na buhay yung nabago ko, ayos na po ako doon.
Okay. So sabi mo, yung ibang opportunities parang lumayo. So parang sabi mo nga, di ba sabi nila, when God closes the door, He opens the window. Or the window. So ngayon...
Or He removes the roof and then shower you with all the blessings you deserve.
Yes. So parang yun nga, yung na-mention mo kanina, parang yun nga, mamaya pag-usapan natin yung BL series mo, no? So, dito na tayo sa pageantry. So, by chance, after nitong Mr. Culture World, meron ka pa bang balak pumasok ulit sa pageantry?
If I'll be given a chance, yes, I think I would, but with my whole self in it. Like there's no sugarcoating or anything. I would love to be representing the Philippines with my whole self.
So, meaning, ibig sabihin nung nag-represent ka sa Vietnam, parang ano ka nun, half-hearted?
That's
Hindi naman.
it's not entire. I can say that it's not entirely me because I cannot
Okay.
act, and at certain times you need to be acting like not I'm not myself.
No pretensions.
Actually
So-
naman, when in the world of pageantry naman, they are mainly acting on stage. They're projecting a part, a facet of themselves, not necessarily yung buong pagkatao nila. It's, ganun naman talaga nangyayari, di ba, sa stage. Pero this time, how do you think it will help you by coming out? Kasi you plan to join other pageants as well. So, ano ngayon ang magiging itong aspetong ito ng pag-amin mo sa totoo mong pagkatao? Paano ito tutulong or paano ito magpi-play doon sa future mong endeavors sa iba pang pageants?
Oh, I think it will help because by that time I will be relying on my whole identity, and it's just so reassuring that no matter what happens, you are you and you are not hurting anyone. And the worst thing that could happen is what? They can accept you, and so what? As long as you accept yourself, and that's all that matters.
Nandun yung bravery talaga. Bravery and confidence.
Kasi if you can't accept yourself, sabi nga nila, who will accept you, di ba? Kung
So,
pipikein mo yung sarili mo, paano ka magiging totoo sa iba?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
ito yung next question ko. Ano yung ina-eye or tina-target mong competition na salihan? Maybe next year or... Kasi you're just 23. So marami pang maraming competitions. So
Mag-workout ka pa, magpapalaki pa ng katawan, for sure.
yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
know. Mr. International is on top of my priority right now.
Okay.
If ever I'll be having a chance to compete again, Mr. International would be one.
So that is under Misters of Filipinas.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, it's under Misters of Filipinas by the PEPS production. So they're the one who are choosing the representative.
Yeah.
Sila nga ba? Yeah.
Yeah, under PEPS, yeah. So meron silang parang 5 titles, I think. Tapos isa dun yung Mr. International Philippines. So next in line, if ever. You're just eyeing for Mr. International?
Mr. Ano pa?
Mr. International, what else? Kung may gusto ka pang labanan.
What else? Mr. World would be good.
Okay, kasi advocacy, no? Advocacy-driven competition. So, yung organization may, yung advocacy.
Yeah, sa Mr. World, okay lang kahit members ng LGBTQ because during the Mr. World finals that was held here in the Philippines last year.
May member.
Last year, yes.
Merong isang member.
Yeah, ilan? Ang dami.
Isang European
The one,
country.
yes, from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Really?
And all.
Yeah.
Yes. I
I didn't know about that.
Madami. They welcome. Yes.
Tapos parang dancer pa
That's
yata
good.
siya. Ano ba? Parang nagbaballet. Something, I don't know.
Parang that's
Parang yun.
the one who was
Yes.
openly gay was Mr. Netherlands.
Yes,
Netherlands. Pero madami,
Mr. World.
ata sa, there were like 3, I guess. There were like 3 in who joined, who represented their countries. And then, Mr. World Organization naman kasi, Miss and Mr. World Organization have been open to the LGBT community because in 2005, that's when they started accepting members of the trans community in Miss World pageant. When that was the first time that Miss Spain, who joined Miss Universe 2018, she joined the Miss World Spain in 2005. Hindi nga lang niya na-represent ang Spain sa Miss World at that time. But she came back. So, ayun. I think 2014 ba or 2005? Nalilito na ako. But technically,
Okay.
yes, merong mga ganon. Parang bigla naisip ko
Okay.
9 years
Wow.
difference, di pala pwede, no? Hindi, it was
Oo.
2014 ata.
So parang nag-crossover siya from
Or
world.
2015, yes. Ganun naman
Nag-crossover
sa
siya.
European countries eh. Pero yes na,
Oo.
yung Mr. World pageant accepts members of the LGBT community.
Mhm. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, ito na. Pag-usapan na natin yung bago mong
Hindi,
project.
Gerard, bago natin
Ano?
pag-usapan yung project,
Oh,
ito muna, basahin muna ni Dre itong mga comments natin. Mga comments
Okay.
from our viewers.
mga well-wishers. Okay, maybe they have questions. They could like drop their questions in.
Yes, for those who have questions for Dre, guys, just
Mhm.
drop your
Mhm.
questions here in the comment box. Ayan,
Yeah,
so
thank you guys for watching.
sabi ni Lawrence Wilner Padilla, so proud of you daw, Dre.
Mhm.
Wow, thank you, thank you.
And then si Kapitan
Mhm.
BJ Apostol, we support you, Amore, Dre. Wow.
Amore. Yun,
That is Sir
yun.
Vince
Okay.
from Star Image. Hello po.
Okay. Tapos kanina
And
may
then,
idol
si
daw.
Prince Joms, idol.
Wow,
And
thank
then
you, thank you.
itong
Ano pa?
si Lazo Earl, si Lazo.
I hope that our artists in the show business will be as brave as you.
Wow, that is that is
It
a
will take a lot
compliment.
of-
Thank you.
yeah.
I'm flattered. I'm flattered.
It will take a lot of courage talaga.
Thank you.
Sabi din nito, ni Lawrence din nga, sabi nga daw ni Mama Ru, which I think RuPaul ang tinutukoy niya, hindi si Mama Ru ng Miss World Organization Philippines.
Mhm.
If you cannot love yourself, how in the hell you're going to love somebody else? Can I get an amen? Of course, amen.
Yes.
So now, let's
And in
go.
order to love yourself, you just have to respect yourself and embrace everything about yourself.
Okay.
Yes, which you're doing right now, which you have decided to do.
Okay, so kanina may Amore Dre. So
Amore,
let's talk about ano yung Amore na yan. Ano to? Ano parang sabi mo nga 'di ba kanina, yun nga may opportunities na hindi para sa when you came out, and then ito na yung mga bagong opportunities. So along the way, bago ka pumunta sa Mr. International, Mr. World, ito ngayon yung pinagkakabalahan natin, Dre, no? So ano itong nakita ko o ano tong pwede naming expect from you? What
Okay,
is this all about?
konting background lang po sa acting career ko, Sir Gerard, no?
Yes.
Okay, nagtapos po ako ng 4-year course, theater arts po ang course ko. 4 na taon po ako nagpakabihasa sa larangan ng teatro at sa pag-arte. Pero sinabi ko, hindi ako papayag na mapunta sa wala yung pinag-aralan ko. Kaya gumawa ako ng platform, which is yung gumawa muna akong pangalan. Gusto ko muna maging international title holder before ako sumabak sa larangan ng industriya ng showbiz. Kaya po after po nung nanalo ako, nag-try na po akong mag-talent sa ABS. And yun po, nabibigyan naman po ako ng mga characters. But after that, doon na po pumasok yung nag-out tayo. And some projects have been withdrawn. Nawalan po tayo ng projects dahil nga po sa pag-out. Pero that's so fine kasi binigyan po ako ng panibagong chance, panibagong pag-asa ng Star Image. Internship po sila ng ABS-CBN. Ang Amore, ito na po ang binigay sa aking project. Actually, hindi din po naging madali yung yung pagsali dito because napakadami pong nag-audition para sa role nitong 4 na to kasama si Mami Petit. Marami pong nag-audition dyan from, I guess, di ko na malaman yung exact number pero nagkaroon ng shortlisted na 300 na auditionees, tapos napunta sa 16, tapos napunta na sa 12, 8, hanggang sa bumaba na sa 5. Kaya nagpapasalamat ako kasi ang maging parte lang nitong Amore ay napakalaking achievement na para sa akin. Pero to be the lead, nawindang na lang po talaga ako nung
So ikaw ang
in-announce
lead. So ikaw ang lead. Congratulations.
Ayan, no? So,
yan po yung unang teleserye ko na pagbibidahan.
Okay. So, parang
Saan ito ipapalabas?
Saan ito ipapalabas?
Sa YouTube po siya. Ang pinaka-sure po na ilalabas ngayon ay sa YouTube po. Pero they are planning to really publish it. To really pa-stream it sa sa iWant, sa iFlix. Doon po nila binabalak na ipalabas yan.
Okay. So, Dre, pwede mo kang bigyan ng konting like synopsis or kasi recently, yung bago pa mag-lockdown, nauuso yung mga BL series. Ano ba yung
Opo.
ano ba yung BL? Yung BL from the
yes.
abbreviation, yeah, BL.
Ang BL series po ay Boys Love series. Ito po ay ikot sa romantic relationship ng dalawang lalaki.
Akala ko kasi dati brotherly love, pero yung pala boy.
Brotherly. boy love.
Tayo.
Boys
Okay,
love.
Okay, so tell us more about this upcoming, itong Amore.
Ayun po. So ang makaka-partner ko po dito ay si Erwin Benaventura na gaganap sa karakter ni Joey. Ako naman po si Jimmy. Kwento to ng dalawang estudyante na nag-alaga ng baby. Hindi po natin muna sasabihin kung saan nanggaling yung baby.
Okay.
Nag-alaga sila ng baby sa dormitory nila without their dorm mates knowing. So ang magiging struggle, magki-kick in yung struggle nila kapag nalaman na nung mga tao na bakit sila nag-aalaga ng baby, ano ba sila? Ano ba yung sexual orientation nila, sexual preference nila, kaninong anak yung bata. Ayun yung mga tanong na kailangang abangan natin yung sagot. Okay.
So, Dre, ano yung parang feeling mong kaibahan nito doon sa ibang mga BL series na nagiging trending lately? Kasi parang lately parang naglabas sila parang may 3 or 4 na series. So parang ito yung
sa Philippines po.
Yes, sa Philippines lang. Tapos lahat sila they stream it sa YouTube. So ano yung parang magiging kakaiba dito sa BL series na to compared to others?
Ang masasabi kong kakaiba po talaga ang storya dahil ito po ay true to life based sa totoong buhay. Meron po talagang mga totoong karakter sa totoong buhay. Pinalitan lang po namin yung pangalan nitong mga to. At abangan po natin ang mga acting prowess, ang mga acting ability ng aking mga kasama dahil hindi po biro ang pinagdaanan namin para makuha ang mga role na to at hindi po namin kayo ipapakita. Hindi po hilaw ang ipapakita ng Amore pagdating sa acting.
So paano to? Ongoing ba tong shoot na to? Kasi syempre pandemic, may mga restrictions tayo. So paano nyo nabubuo yung production? How you
sobrang minimal po ng production staff at talagang yung mga safety measurements natin, yung mga precautions natin, talagang ginagawa po namin bago mag-proceed sa shoot. Nag-stay in po kami doon. Kunyari, mag-stay in kami for taping. Magka-quarantine muna kami ng sarili sa mga kanilang bahay before po kami pumunta. Tapos doon na po kami mag-stay in sa mismong setting, sa mismong pag-shooting namin.
Okay, I see.
Para po safe lahat.
So, kailan ang target date ng release nito?
July po ang taping dates namin. By August po siguro ay mailalabas na po natin to.
So, because based on what I have gotten, yun na nga, itong Amore, and then there's this one another by, I think this is another subsidiary company of ABS-CBN. There's this actor nga, meron din sila parang BL din, and then under ng PEPS meron din sila that are currently shooting now. It's gonna be called yun na nga, and then there's another one by yung producer ng Din Sentiments.
Yes.
Sakristan ata ang title nun or something eh. So
we have Sakristan, we have Game Boys, we have My Day the series. What else? May namimiss
My Day the
ako.
series, yes.
Yeah, My Day the series, sila Iñaki Torres po yan.
Yes.
Sino pa ba? In between, Ang dami na pong lumabas talaga. Meron pa po tayong My Extraordinary Love po ata yun by Channel 5 po yun. Ang alam ko po. Ang dami pong lumabas. Hindi ko na po kabisado yung mga
Paano mo
titles.
pinaghandaan to? Nung nalaman mo tong opportunity na to, nag-audition ka ba? Paano?
Nag-audition po ako.
Ayan, nag-audition siya.
Paano ka nag-audition? Online audition or actual
Online,
audition?
Zoom audition po. After po nung online screening, Zoom audition, tapos Zoom audition ulit, merong dance, merong acting, merong singing screening, saka pa lang po nagkaroon ng top 12, tapos nagkaroon ng personal screening. After ng personal screening, saka pa lang po, nagkaroon ng final decision. Sobrang dami pong pinagdaanan. It was all worth it.
So, paano mo pinaghandaan ng pag-audition? Alam mo bang BL series to when you audition?
Opo, alam ko po.
So, nag-audition ka ba sa lead role or basta nag-audition ka lang and then hoping that one of the roles will fit you?
Hindi ko po alam na ang ino-auditionan ko po pala ay lead role pala yung binigay sa akin ng mga script. Hindi ko po alam na lead role yung inaabangan ko.
I
So,
see.
paano mo pinaghandaan yun? Paano mo pinaghandaan? Yung
I
pag-audition?
read a lot. I read a lot, tapos yung script, pinag-aralan ko. Nanood ako ng sobrang daming Thai series kasi doon naman talaga
Nag-originate siya.
simula ang lahat. Kaya yun po. Yun ang mga pinaghandaan ko.
So ngayon, dahil it's a BL series or Boys Love series, and aminado ka namang you're a member of the LGBT community, paano mo paghandaan ng mga love scenes? Kasi, I mean, you've had boyfriends before.
Aba.
Okay, so akala ko baka wala pa or never pa.
Boyfriend.
So boyfriend as in a partner, a lover.
Yeah.
Aba.
You had.
Okay.
So somehow, ready ka sa romantic part na yon, sa romance part of being with another guy.
Opo.
Pero
before ko po tanggapin ang role, syempre, in-announce na po yung mga characters bago po namin tanggapin ay tinanong na po kami, handa ba kayo sa mga intimate scenes, mga ganyan. Although, inassure naman po sa amin na talaga maging artistic ang lahat ng shots and all. Sinabi ko na, tinanggap ko na po sa sarili ko na na kailangan ko ihanda yung sarili ko. Baka, syempre, ayoko naman pong maging lumabas sa camera ay parang dinadaya na lang talaga. Gusto ko po maging natural.
Hindi kasi on how I understand it, no? Yung treatment sa mga BL series, medyo subtle lang. Parang pakilig lang. Kasi di ba, like that, sabi mo nga from
dito
Thailand.
Po mababago ang lahat.
Yun nga.
Dahil sa totoong buhay po ito.
Kaya tinatanong ko, ano ba yung pagkakaiba nitong lalabas na Amore compared to other BL series na naglalabasan lately, even before lockdown? Kasi parang ngayon nagiging trend siya eh. Kasi from the Korean flick, tapos ito naging BL na. So ngayon parang siguro nagkakaroon ng parang may revolution, nagre-revolutionize. So ngayon ito nga ito yung parang feeling kong latest, no? So ito nga yung pina-plug mo ngayon, yung iniistorya mo sa amin. So excited lang kami kung paano nyo i-deliver namin kung ano yung Amore, kung ano yung what is it all about. So ayun.
So tell us, ano yun? What is it all about? Paano siya magiging kakaiba sa iba pang BL series out there and then sa ibang BL series na nandito ngayon sa Pilipinas?
Yun nga po, bukod po sa base po to sa totoong buhay, ay hindi po ito puro pakilig talaga. At ipapakita po namin ang realidad ng buhay ng mga tao sa loob ng LGBT community. Hindi po namin siya i-sugarcoat.
Okay. So, may tanong pa, Tristan?
Well, so far, I'm just excited to watch it, to see what you're going to
me too. I'm excited.
May teaser na po tayo. Lumabas na po yung teaser natin. Siguro maraming salamat po sa mga nanood.
Sana na ipadala mo sa amin para we could at least show it here.
We could share in our page. Yung
Sige po,
Hindi, nasa Star Image po sila.
Yes,
anong page? Anong website? Sige, let's try to, while we're talking here.
Amore,
Star Image Artist Management po.
Ano
Star
siya,
Image
website?
Artist Management po.
Ano siya?
Page po sa Facebook. Doon po lumabas yung teaser.
Okay.
Sandali.
Siguro, kailan,
Sige lang po.
ngayon lang na-release yan, Dre?
2 days ago, pumalo na po siya ng 60,000 plus. Kaya ang saya-saya namin. Kasi madami na siyang na touch na mga
So, yung sabi mo nga parang bilang advocate ka nga nito, no, LGBTQ, aside from yun nga sa HIV, being an HIV advocate. So parang feeling mo, unti-unti ba natatanggap na ng society natin yung ganitong, syempre sabihin natin, aminin natin na hindi naman lahat maiintindihan or, you know, matatanggap yung ganito. Pero parang sa palagi mo ba, papunta na tayo doon? Sa mga katulad nito mga naglalabasan ng mga tema ng mga palabas online, virtually. So, sa palagay mo, feeling mo nandun na tayo, papunta na tayo doon?
I think we still have a long way to go, to be honest, because we are more than that. We are more than this series. We are more than all those movies about us. Kung gusto po talaga nila ng pagtanggap, kung gusto po talaga nila tayong tanggapin, I think it is time to really widen their knowledge about us, to really know na hindi po dapat nakakasama ang paniniwala nila, really, ang religious belief nila sa natin, sa government natin. Kasi ang hinihingi lang naman po ng LGBT community natin ay yung basic human rights nila na hindi naman po talaga namin natatamasa. Kaya I think we still have a long way to go, at hanggat hindi natin nakukuha yan, ipaglalaban pa rin natin yan. Although, mababa pa siya.
Oo, sana nga. Alam ko may, di ba, yearly, annually dyan sa Pilipinas, mayroong Pride Parade, di ba? May Pride event. So parang I think this year is canceled because of the pandemic. So,
kahapon po dapat yun eh. Ang alam ko po kahapon dapat.
Tapos parang may nakita akong isang link na parang meron yatang gagawing virtual Pride Parade.
Opo, dahil nga po, baka po gawin na po nila yung platform kasi nagkaroon na po ng issue dito, dinakip po yung mga as in peaceful sila na
so yun
na
parang
nagrarally and dinakip sila.
Ito ba yung trailer na sinasabi mo? Sandali kita na.
Okay pa. Sige.
Sige, I wanna see.
Enjoy po kayo kung ito po yun. Enjoy po.
Ito ba yun?
Hindi po yan.
Hindi. Sige.
Baba pa po.
Anong name?
Amore po ang title.
Wala ba siya dun sa page?
Dito siya sa page pero what I'm seeing is live audition eh.
Yeah, oo nga.
Kalapangit pala to, sorry.
Movie po yan. I-plug ko na din po yan. Movie po ng Star Image yan. Sila Sander Ford, sila Makagago po yung mag-star dyan.
What I'm seeing here is Amore is live audition eh.
Doon sa page.
Live audition po sila.
Video.
So, alin ba dito? Sige, tuloy lang.
Hindi ba yun yung Good Morning Boy Charming? Yun ba yun?
Hindi po.
Okay.
Baba pa po. Kundi baba pa po.
So, mas naunang i-post?
Paano ko? Hindi ko po ma-check ngayon eh.
Kailan ba to? Kailan ba to pinost?
2 days ago po.
2 days ago.
So, Dre, kailan ako pwedeng bumisita ng Bulacan?
Bumisita po muna kayo ng Philippines.
Oo naman.
Nakita ko na.
Hindi kasi yung mami niya kasi invite niya ako sa Bulacan to see the...
Opo. Pumunta po kayo dito.
Saan niya kayo sa Bulacan? Saan niya kayo
sa Malolos po.
Malolos. I want to see the Baraswain Church. Kasi...
Baraswain Church?
Yan. Gusto ko siya makita.
Katedral pa. Ang dami mapupunta.
Soon, very soon. Siguro after nitong pandemic, pag nakadaan-daan nakauwi ako ng Pinas.
Opo. We'll be waiting for you.
Nakita mo na, Tristan, yung video?
Nakita ko na, but wala pang audio, so I have to search for it in another way. But anyway, while we're doing this, hello, akala ko nawala ako eh. While we're doing this, for sure, madaming curious. Natawa ako dito. May nagko-comment, down pa po.
Ano po?
Down.
Sa comment, itong Amore kasi nag-comment eh.
Down pa po.
Down. Ako
Down.
dito, down. Tapos ito, down pa po. So, natawa tuloy ako. Sabi ni Ivan Sarte, it's 70,000 views na. So,
Si Ivan ba kasama mo?
70,000. Si Ivan
70,000.
po ay abangan
kasali
po
ba
nila.
siya?
Ayan po si Amori Will. Kasama po yan. Gwapong-gwapo po nating Ivan Sarte.
Okay.
ano ba ang type mo sa lalaki, Dre?
Anong tayo? Wala
Diretsahan
kasi
tayo.
akong standard. Biglang pabebe. wala kasi akong standard. Pero kung sa physical po ba, physical attributes po.
Lahat. Siyempre, something that would first catch your eye. Kumbaga.
Maganda yung mata. Kasi yun yung pinakagusto ko, maganda yung mata. Kapag maganda yung mata mo, parang
paano bang magandang
sarap
mata
mong
para
kausapin.
sa'yo?
Paano ba?
Paano
Ate
bang
Carmen,
maganda?
Ma-explain eh. May tama sa akin eh. Hindi ko ma-explain, pero may tama sa akin yung mga magaganda yung mata. Hindi ko
Kailangan bang
ma-explain pa.
duling? Kailangan bang...
Hindi naman po. Pero maganda yung mata. And sa naman po, sa tawag dito, sa personality, gusto ko lang po yung mature mag-handle ng things and ayos ang political stand. Naku, kailangan yung ayos yung political stand kasi mag-aaway kami palagi.
Di ba opposite
Sa mga
attracts?
ganyan.
Di ba opposite attracts? Sinasabi nila. Opposite
po?
attracts. Opposite attracts.
Opposite attracts. Wag naman po sa bagay na yun.
Okay.
Okay. Pero ayan. We'll never know.
I think
Kadalasan hindi natin namimit.
I think nakita ko na yung video.
So maybe you can share it.
No, you may share it on your end kasi wala akong access dito. Yan.
Ito, try natin. Ito ba siya?
No, hindi yan.
Amore kasi nakalagay eh.
Hindi
Si
ito.
po yan? Si You Do Note Girl po yan.
Kaya nga, parang
Good to
there's
know.
a dance challenge. May dance challenge
May
siya.
dance challenge po.
Ito ba yung pinost ng Star Image Artist Management? Tapos parang
Apo.
shinare sa page ng Amore. Yung uwi na tayo,
Apo.
uwi ka na sa akin. Yun ba yun?
Apo. Yan po.
O yung after nitong si You Do Note, parang feeling ko after niya. Have you seen it, Tristan?
I'm not sure eh. Kasi mga audition eh. Oh.
Parehas lang po kami naka-white sa sa screen. Tapos magkaharap lang po kami.
Contract signing, pauwi na tayo, yan ba yun?
Yun,
Uwi na
yun,
tayo,
yun.
uwi ka na sa akin.
Yun.
Apo.
I think that's it.
So, kwento mo sa amin tong eksenang to, Dre.
Ang eksena po niyan ay ginawa po namin ng alas 4 na po, 4 AM na po. Sobrang dami pong ginawa nung araw na yan. Pero ayun, I'm glad na i-push through namin yan. And sobrang proud po ako sa partner ko diyan, si Win. Kasi talagang hindi din siya nagdadamot ng emosyon. And kayo na po ang humusga sa kapag pinanood na natin.
I'm actually watching it now. Nakikita nyo ba?
Hindi.
Hindi po.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought.
So you do note pa rin. Hindi siguro kaya mo rin nasasabi, Dre, kasi bilang, yun nga, yung pinag-aralan mo sa university, yung theater arts. So parang naging well-rounded ka kung paano ka magtapon ng emosyon at paano i-reciprocate sa'yo ng ka-eksena mo. So parang it's a mind game, no? Parang psychological, parang psychology din, ano? Hindi lang isip, pati yung damdamin mo magkasabay.
Opo.
So dapat talaga internalization talaga.
Napakahalaga po.
Oo. Yung sinasabi mo nga mata pa lang umaarte na, alam mo yun.
Mas sinseridad ng mga mata.
I'm watching it right now.
Actually, I was watching it and I thought you guys can see
Hindi
it.
natin may pakita.
Try ko dito ha. Ayan, dito.
No.
Kaya lang walang video
No,
kasi.
we can't.
Sandali kasi sa Chrome tab ko siya binubuksan.
Sige lang po. Maghihintay po ang ating mga viewers. Kaya po nila yan. maraming salamat po ulit sa mga viewers ng The Philippine Pageantry and of course sa lahat ng sumusuporta ng Amore. Maraming salamat din po.
Sige, ito na
70K na
lang.
tayo.
I'm not sure kung may
Ayan.
audio.
Enjoy nyo po yan.
I don't know kung merong audio kayo naririnig, pero kwento mo sa amin itong eksenang to.
Go. Ito pong eksena na to ay parang confrontation scene namin na hindi sinasadyang mangyari. Ano po
So,
nangyari?
sino tong nakaupo? Ba anong nagtitimpla ng kape? Anong ginagawa?
Siya po si Joey, ang aking love interest sa sa Amore. Yan.
This is just a teaser, right? This is a teaser.
Teaser lang po yan. And that's not the official teaser.
Yes.
Patikim mo lang po talaga.
Okay.
And
So,
yun. If hindi po if hindi po natin mapapanood sa kanila, okay lang po. They can always visit it sa Star Image Artist Management na page. Follow nyo po yung page namin. And Amore, LARC Amore. What else? Meron din po kaming Amore Official Group.
Ayan ito.
Ayan, 70,000 plus na yung views niya. Maraming salamat po. Pero i-watch nyo na lang po siya ng sarili nyo po and tell me tell me your thoughts.
Akala ko dadab mo nito eh.
Parang pang-attack sa mga nanonood sa atin ngayon at sa mga manonood sa atin later on kasi for sure yung ibang mga tao na hindi po sila available to watch it now will be watching our TPP News Live sa kanilang mga sariling time.
Sige.
Idadab mo ba to? Parang idadab mo na eh. Sayang walang audio. Pero yun nga, panoorin na lang nila sa page, Amore. Yeah, they can find it in Amore page.
Tingnan natin ano yung... Nako, ang drama. Nagsasalita na daw yung mga mata.
Yan. I-share nyo naman po yan sa Philippine Pageantry, right? Kaya makikita po nila yan. Kaya tutok lang po kayo sa mga
So, teaser talaga to.
Apo.
Parang isang episode na yata to eh, Dre.
3 minutes po ata yan.
Kaya walang audio para naman medyo talagang puntahan nila yung actual site at mapakinggan nila ano ba yung sinasabi nitong dalawang gwapong to sa isa't isa. Gusto ko kayong kurutin sa mga singit ninyo sa inyong mga dialogue.
Yan, kasi naririnig po nilang dalawa sa mga viewers po natin.
Naririnig ko.
Hindi ako, I can't hear it. I can't hear it. Siguro, I'll just watch it later.
Sige po.
Natawa tuloy ako. Anyway, para na sige, tama na siya. Stop it.
Okay.
So, yun, mukhang exciting naman, pero usually kasi sabi mo kakaiba siya sa ibang BL series, di ba? Pero ang BL series kasi sumikat dahil sa lightheartedness, kilig, moments. Pero ito parang heavy eh.
Hindi naman po tayo magkukulang sa mga kilig moments. Pero hindi din po natin i-sugarcoat ang mga dapat maramdaman nila. Kapag kailangan na maramdaman yung pain, ipaparamdam natin sa kanila yan.
So, you have more questions, Gerard?
Feeling ko okay na kasi wala, okay na ako. I'm done.
Well, so far, thank you, Dre, sa time mo sa amin. And then, good luck sa
salamat.
Amore.
Sobrang
Sana
salamat.
mapili, sana July maipalabas na kagad yan. At least second week of July. Parang nakaka-atapunan tayo ng more than 1 month pa.
Or maybe Tristan, maybe kung may opportunity, let's invite the whole cast para mas papag-usapan natin ng mas malalim itong gagawin nilang BL series, no?
May parating mo, Dre, sa management ninyo, sa producer, at saka sa co-star mo. We are inviting you guys ahead of time in one of our upcoming episodes. Let's feature you. Let's discuss natin kung ano yung mga dapat nating malaman tungkol sa Amore.
Yes.
Opo. Sigurado po akong papaunlakan nila kayo.
Salamat.
So any last words, Dre, before you know,
Any parting words?
any parting words bago natin tapusin?
No, no parting words, just see you later, catch you later words. Maraming salamat po ulit sa mga sumusuporta sa career ko. Sobrang silent lang ng mga supporters ko pero hindi sila nawawala. Hindi po sila nag-fail na suportahan ako. Hindi po nila kailangan ipagsigawan sa buong mundo na sinusuportahan nila ako pero nandyan sila whenever I need them. And that's all I need. Maraming salamat po sa mga sumuporta sa Amore. And I'm hoping na lumaki pa yung family natin.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dre.
Good luck, Dre, sa
Good luck,
future
good
mo.
luck.
And then
Thank you po.
thank you for your bravery in coming out and being open to who you really
Hindi
are.
lang po para sa akin yon, para po sa ating lahat yun.
Kaya thank you. And then hopefully madami kang na-inspire sa iyong pagka-come out at sa pagkukwento mo kung bakit at ano ba ang dapat. And hopefully
Happy Pride, everyone!
Yes, happy Pride. Happy 51st year.
Happy Pride.
So thank you, Dre. And then
Salamat po, maraming salamat po, sir.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye po.
Okay. So let's have the last news
Yes,
for
before
tonight.
we end our TPP News Live, we still have like a few remaining information and news about what's happening in the world of pageantry. So what's next?
Okay, we're going to talk about Miss Earth Philippines Cultural Attire winners and the finals night. Okay, the cultural attire competition of Miss Philippines Earth 2020 pageant was held virtually via Facebook Live on June 24. So the winners on this category, we have the gold medalist or the first place. It was won by from Misamis Oriental, and I know they have the back-to-back win because last year they also won the in this category. And then that is in the name of Riza Infante.
Yes, I'm looking for the photos while we're doing this para we can show the people naman what we're talking about. Yes, sige, tuloy lang. And then, kailan nangyari itong cultural attire competition?
It was held last June 24, and it was hosted by Miss Earth 2015 Angelia Ong.
Okay.
Yes, and the gold medalist or the first placer, it's won by Misamis Oriental. And then the silver medalist was won by Riza Infante from Negros Occidental. And then the bronze medalist is Eliza Marie Mendoza from Melbourne, Australia.
So, ano yung mga suot nila? I mean, do you remember what they were wearing? Here. I'll share it now.
Okay. And then for additional information, the much-awaited Miss Philippines Earth 2020 coronation ceremony will be aired exclusively on GMA7. That will be on July 5th at 10 in the morning. So the outgoing Miss Philippines Earth Janelle T will pass the crown to one of the 24 queen hopefuls vying for the title of Miss Philippines Earth 2020. After the telecast, the pageant will also be streamed via GMA Network's official website, Facebook page, Twitter, and YouTube accounts. So
these are ito yung mga gowns, ito yung mga cultural attires na binanggit mo kanina.
Yes.
So this will be on GMA7 next week, July 5, from
July
10 in the morning to 12 noon. That was the time that was allotted kasi alam mo naman na originally they're supposed to show in another channel. Pero buti na lang, nagpapasalamat ang Miss Philippines Earth that they were given this time. They were given a time to show what they have to offer for the Miss Philippines Earth 2020 pageant.
Yes, and then this is kind of exciting because parang virtual yung mangyayari, no? Virtual competition.
Actually exciting kasi hindi natin alam kung paano talaga nila gagawin. Kasi base sa nabalitaan ko, Gerard, what will happen is that parang on Saturday itself nila gagawin yung actual virtual presentation. It will just be taped as live. Ngayon, and then on the day itself, kung saan nila ipapalabas yun, ang bali-balita is wala pang announcement of winners ng Saturday at magiging live announcement ng winners on Sunday noon before the show ends. So parang the excitement will build up. Makikita natin kung ano yung what they have to go through towards the elemental crowns for this year. And then, yun. So, hopefully, di ba, parang it's something different, it's something exciting, it's something innovative talaga for the pageantry here in the Philippines.
Yeah, parang feeling ko this is the first time virtual beauty pageant, you know?
Yeah. Actually, wala na nga talaga, di ba? Yan lang talaga. So, what's next?
Okay, so we're done with the Miss Earth update. So meron pa ba tayong naiiwan? Meron pa ba tayong news item?
Yes, I think we have here, look at this photo.
Yes.
So Miss Sharifa Akil, our Miss Asia Pacific International 2018, is laman siya ng balita for the last couple of days because of an attack made against her. But we're not saying if it's a legitimate or an unfounded attack. But then again, knowing what or who Sharifa is, it was best for her na maging move niya is to really show, instead of legitimizing the attacks on her, sabi nga nila, kung babatuhin ka ng tinapay, ng batot, batuhin mo ng tinapay. And hindi lang tinapay ang kanyang binato. Kundi po pack meals pa, di ba?
Hindi, sasabihin ko sana pag binato ka ng bato, gawin mong castle. So, build your empire.
Ito nga eh. Ito, I mean, using that adage or saying na pag binato ka ng bato, batuhin mo ng tinapay. Ito, tignan mo kung anong ginagawa ni Sharifa.
Batuhin mo ng full pack meal.
Full pack meal talaga.
Yes.
Showing her real essence as a woman and as a person. So I think the attacks on her is very unfair. Because personally, I know that she has been undergoing this attack since last year. Hindi bago tong attack na to sa kanya. And then, she has issued a statement. But I don't think it is official. That's why ayokong i-share natin dito sa TPP so far. But let's just talk about what we know personally. Diba? Sharifa, this person who attacked Sharifa, hindi natin kilala personally. Unlike Sharifa na kilala natin because we're working in the same industry, in the pageantry industry. Itong nag-attack sa kanya doon sa show na yon, sa online show na yon ng isa sa mga Tulfo brothers, has been forum shopping, kumbaga, kung saan na nagpupuntang groups, pageant groups, or even pages saying things against Sharifa. Though we understand how that person feels kung totoo yung sinasabi niya sa atin. Pero here sa TPP, kasi nung nilapitan tayo nito before, hininga natin siya ng ebidensya, hininga natin ng proof at pruweba. Kasi hindi naman natin kukonsintihin ang mga maling gawain kung sakali and vice versa, di ba? Pero hindi rin naman natin hahayaang magamit ang the Philippine Pageantry para lamang siraan ang isang tao na hindi naman niya kayang patunayan. Because what I saw in the report or in the show, putol-putol yung pinakita eh. Talagang pinili lang yung pinakita. So it was very unfair, hindi lamang para kay Sharifa, kundi para sa ating lahat.
So hindi natin nakita yung buong conversation, what you mean?
Yes, hindi kasi sabi nga nung show, they're opening their line for Sharifa para maging balance naman. Actually, dapat bago ninyo inilabas ang mga ganong klaseng reklamo sa show nyo, dapat hiningin nyo na yung side kagad ng isa and then binalance nyo kung may basihan ba. Kasi madaming mali, madaming question. 'Di ba? Madami ding question. And then Ako sa paniniwala ko, bakit putol yung pinakitang message na yon? As in crap, di ba? So, kailangan makita natin buo yung thread para masabi nga natin kung ano ba talaga yung pinag-uusapan nila doon or something. Or baka naman na-provoke lang itong si Sharifa. Pero beside that, yung fact of na-attack sa kanya o yung kiniklaim laban sa kanya that's another thing, di ba? It's not how they converse with each other. It's kung totoo, hindi totoo. Pero sa tingin ko, sa kultura nila sa Muslim, hindi mo naman matatawag at hindi rin pwedeng tawaging kabit yun. Dahil pwede namang dating, they're just dating or getting to know each other. Or baka nandiligaw lang yung lalaki
Or
sa kanya.
they're good friends. They're good friends, right?
Yeah, kasi maaring malisyosa lang mag-isip ang ibang tao, kaya hinahanapan ng ano. Or maaari ding manliligaw, kasi hindi mo naman masisisi eh. Maganda naman si Sharifa, bata pa talaga. And then very humble. To be honest, she's very humble. Ngayon kung hindi totoong ganun si Sharifa, and very unfair naman yung, actually kung ganun talaga si Sharifa, or hindi totoong ganun si Sharifa gaya ng pinalabas noong umaatake kay Sharifa, napaka-unfair. At sa kasong to, hindi niya pwedeng kasuhan si Sharifa base na lang sa mga law, sa opinyong legal ng mga kakilala natin. Dahil what happened, wala namang crime na ginagawa si Sharifa kung sakali man. Diba? Dahil bukod na sa kultura na nila yon, wala naman siya ebidensya maipapakita. Pangalawa, ang may krimen na ginawa, itong umatake sa kanya kasi oral defamation to. At the same time, unjust vexation kasi last year pa niya talagang ginagawa ito, kung saan-saan pa siya talaga nagpupunta, kung sino-sinong mini-message nito para sabihin yun. Pero wala naman siya ino-offer. Ikaw talaga, General. At the same time, unjust vexation, oral defamation, at dahil this happened on an online show, this becomes cyber libel. Hello? Very fresh pa sa atin ang cyber libel case conviction ni Maria Ressa, di ba? Alam mo, kung maglolo ka, dapat alam mo na hindi lang karapatan mo ang dapat mong ipaglaban, kundi karapatan din ng mga taong inaatake mo. Dapat ganun.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
But to be honest, we have been open naman to this person even before. Ang hiningi lang natin sa kanya ebidensya. Kasi syempre, baka naman nagsisinungaling lang din sa atin si Sharifa. So kailangan din natin makita yung ebidensya niya. Pero in all honesty, unfair ang ginawang yon ng show na yon for Sharifa because sinira lang nito ang reputasyon ng isang tao na wala namang malinaw na pagkakasala. Wala namang ebidensya. So ito, basta guys, we have Sharifa's answer to this issue, but since we're not sure if it is an official statement, we have decided na wag mo nang ilabas ito.
So, at saka Tristan, I think this is an opportunity for her and our stream is very much open for her na ma-invite din natin siya
For both of them.
For both of them, para alam natin yung both sides of the story. Kasi syempre, yung isang side pa lang yung naririnig natin and we really don't know what is happening.
Pero we respect naman kung ano pa maging desisyon ng dalawa, lalo na ni Sharifa. Kasi sa nakikita ko, ang gusto lang ipakita ni Sharifa nga is, binato nga siya, pero imbis na tinapaibabato niya, she's showing her good deeds. Isang packed meal ang kanyang binato.
So parang it shows na parang parang napihit niya into a positive energy.
Which
parang, alam mo yun,
nasa kanya ngayon ang attention, nasa kanyang attention, ipakita ko kung ano ba ang dapat gawin natin at kung paano dapat tulungan ang ating mga frontliners.
Okay.
So what else?
So I think we're almost done with the news for tonight.
So wow, medyo
so
guys, that
naman,
is
anytime naman, open ang program natin kung gusto nilang mag-share ng kanilang thoughts and insights.
TPP News Live is not after popularity or anything like that. That's why we're not really what we're showing here are actually the latest news. Kaya minsan kadalasan din namin napopromote tong show na ito. Basta na lang ipapalabas. At kung bakit kami nag-start ng 1 hour later dahil inoko pa lang namin yung oras ng Ashley Knights na ngayon they're on their season break right now. So until next week, ganitong oras pa rin tayo from 8 o'clock to onwards. And we're going to be discussing the latest news in the world of pageantry, entertainment, sports, travels, etc. in social media, basically. Then hopefully madami kayo natutunan for our Pride episode. Madami kami natutunan with regards to dapat na pagtetest para malaman at kung ano ba dapat gawin, yung love yourself, etc. Yun. Salamat ulit kay Danvic, salamat kay Dre, and then and sa inyong mga viewers, kung meron po kayong mga balita na masasabi sa amin, send us a message, share kasi naghahanap din kami ng mga reporters mula sa iba't ibang part ng probinsya na makakatulong sa pagbibigay ng mga balita at latest. At hindi lang sa Pilipinas, pati sa ibang parts ng mundo.
Yes.
And now, congratulations, Gerard. Congratulations sa ating lahat dahil we're celebrating the 51st anniversary of Pride, commemoration of the Pride riots and Pride March na nagsimula ito sa persecution sa ating mga kapatid sa LGBTQ community sa States noong 1969. And now we're here 51 years after. At ngayon ito sa Pilipinas, hindi man lang natin napag-usapan kung ano ang legal state naman ng LGBTQ sa Pilipinas. But hindi lang naman ito ang pagkakataon para magawa natin ito.
Yeah, on the next couple of episodes sa mga susunod. So, pwede pa natin siyang mas ma-discuss pa.
Yes. But again, congratulations to the LGBTQ community for the 51st year of the Pride commemoration. And then, do you have anything else to add, Gerard?
I think that's it. That's all for tonight.
Okay, that's it for TPP News Live. And see you again here next week as we bring to you the week's latest news and happenings in the world of pageantry here in the Philippines and around the world. And then stay put here for all the other online shows that we are giving and offering to all our viewers. From us here in TPP News Live, good night, God bless, and be kind to one another.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, guys. Bye, God bless.